Love to go and watch the finals. We get all excited. But the nearest thing I come to, I reckon, in home and away games is the clash here today between Bannockburn and Inverleigh. It's a bit like Collingwood and Essendon when they play, obviously, at the same time. The fact that it doesn't matter where they are on the ladder, it doesn't matter if they haven't been playing well or one of them has and one of them hasn't. It's always a tough, hard game. It is the fighting Anzac spirit because these two have a real rivalry between them. Off the field, fine, but on the field, sometimes things actually get nasty. You just never know. But Anzac Day between Bannockburn and Inverleigh is always a magnificent day. We'll have the service, I think, at some stage, probably between the end of the seconds and the seniors, and they do that magnificently too. So, I know it's a Friday and we've got to come back tomorrow, but gee, I love coming here for Anzac Day footy.
Yes, it is. It's one of those days, as I said, we look forward to. The competition between these two sides, as I said, goes back quite a number of years, as you mentioned, and there's been some really good tussles over the time. So we're just hoping that we can see something similar to that today. Arch, as I said, probably your first time as an Anzac Day game here between these two clubs. As I said, we had a bit of a break there one year, didn't we? There was
1 year Winchelsea played it.
Yeah.
And that was a good day too. I'm not taking anything away with that, but this is the... This is
the tradition that they set up between the two clubs, and I think it's well and truly done the right way. So,
it is, Dale. I'm usually at the MCG watching Collingwood versus Essendon right about now, I've had to learn a bit about the rivalry between Inverleigh and Bannockburn this week. Such a rich rivalry it is as well, and I think we're going to get to some rivalries a bit later on with some grand final rivalries in the history of this competition, which I look forward to doing, but. Yeah, you're exactly right what you said, Grubby. It's all about, it doesn't matter where these teams are placed on the ladder. Obviously, Inverleigh not winning a game this year, but being competitive in both games. But we know that either way they're going to come out, it's going to be a great contest today.
Just looking through there, both sides, Grub, as I said, you've spoken to Ronnie, but Inverleigh side, really other than Dalton Grundle, I can't think of too many more players that are on their injury list. I believe there's one or two others maybe, but I'm not too sure or familiar with the names. They may be new players that have come to the club and be injured, but you spoke to Ronnie earlier before, and he said they're only missing a couple at this stage.
Yeah, I think he played well last time. We've seen him. Aidan Osborne played pretty well last time. He's not playing. There's one other that I can't bring to mind, but... Yeah, they're pretty much full strength Bannockburn. I think they've been pretty. I think they lost their first game, didn't they? And then had a good win last week. So, yeah, look, Inverleigh, they're struggling. Archie, you say they're competitive. They were last week. They weren't the week before. They got pretty much belted by North Geelong. But they came back out last week and played a pretty good game of footy. So, but as I say, it don't matter here. They're both sides are going to be flat out, flat stick, and no holds bar here today. And I think that'll make for a really, really good game. I did see, as you say, Dalton Grundle. He's out there running water or something for the reserves, so he won't be far away. Possibly next week he'll be back. And looking at the rest of these blokes, Bowie Collins is playing, I take it?
Yes, he is. Bowie Collins is out there. Well, not out there at the moment, but he is going to be playing, yes.
Well, that's good because, as we said last week, they've lost some superstars. Like Matty Tyquin, Adam Donahue, your mate Crawley.
Creepy.
Yeah, we even get Lukey coming down here to the mighty. And Winchelsea aren't playing with Lukey. But, they've lost some great players. But with Bo Collins coming in, the big fella, I forget his name now, but they've got to, as I said, they've got to break even before they start again, don't they?
Yeah, their big inclusion, I think, for me is that I think his name's Reed, Jaden Reed. I think he's come across from Joey's. He seems to have been the best player the first two games of the year.
Right.
And by all reports can play some good football. So I think he's important. Braden Warren, who we saw 2 or 3 years back, well, 2 years back anyway, played a lot of senior football. Not too sure where he was last year, but he's obviously back in their senior side today. And obviously he'll be important to them because, as I said, they don't appear to have a great deal of size down back again. And when that was probably one of their issues I thought they always had. After Alfred wasn't playing, I've got young Violet's back there, so young Jack Violet, but I think they need those extra 2 or 3 players. Now, when they recruited Josh Viney, I assumed that he would go back and play as part of their back or their defence.
That's the bloke I was trying to think of.
Josh Viney?
Yeah.
But I think he's playing a little bit more on ball and forward. So it's maybe today they may have to stretch back. But again, when you haven't got a bloke like Kieran Fulton playing at full forward for Bannockburn, then you're probably a little bit more at ease when you go into a game like this.
Gee, they could do with him back Bannockburn too. I know that.
Very handy.
Look, I did speak to Maury. He tells me there's probably 8 or 9 blokes that are going to run out here today in the Inverleigh side in their low 20s and less.
Yep.
So what they've actually done is when they've lost all these really good experienced players, rather than go out and try and get some GFL or BFL seconds players, obviously the points stop them from taking too many and the salary cap as well. But what they've actually done is, all right, bugger that. Let's look in our own backyard. Let's use our juniors who I think play in Division 2 for the last few years in the AFL Barwon comp, in the Colts comp, which is a pretty good comp. At the moment, they probably have the talent, but they may lack the experience. But the only way they're going to get experience, Smithy, is by putting them out here. And that's what he's done. That's the way they've gone. That tells me they may not be finals contenders, or they may, but it tells me that it augurs well for the club next year and the year after.
Grubby and Dale, I think that really exemplifies the point that we spoke about last week on how important it is. So it is very difficult, we do understand that, but to have a junior program to try and bring kids through, obviously we know that parents and kids, they aspire to go to those the Marys, Joeys and Newtown, but when you do have a junior program, you can bring kids up and pick out from your own backyard, like you're saying.
Well, you're right, and I can tell you too, I'll give you one of the real facts too. If you say exemplify again, I'm throwing you out the box, throwing you straight out the box. What's it mean, Smithy? Exemplify.
Can you spell it for me before? I'd have to Google, mate. I'm not good on the old dictionary.
No good for me. I spent the longest 7 years in grade 3.
Yeah, and as I said, looks like there's a player going down here in the reserve game, but at the present time it's Bannockburn 48 leading Inverleigh on 37. We spoke about the rivalry competition or the rivalry that goes between clubs and finals during this time, or not only time that we've had in our time as watching the games, Grub, but you being involved in a lot yourself, and also just going right back to 1981. We've got a list provided by Alex. Now, I can tell you there's a lot of games back right then that I would never have seen.
We're doing this today?
Well, I think we are. I think we're going to go through it.
I thought he was going to put it on.
Grubby.
No, that's I've just been told that's what we're doing this afternoon.
I haven't done one.
Well, you can give me your number one.
Yeah, I'll have to. You just go first. I have to think on it. I'll tell you what, I'll do. I'll tell you what, don't worry about Alex with all his research. I'll try and do it straight off the top of my head.
Yep.
Right? I go back and I know today's footy's different, and I know you shouldn't judge it by punch-ons. But North Geelong and Anarchy, some of those grand finals, they were unbelievable to watch. And the rivalry there is unrivaled, I believe. Jonesy running around breaking things up. Jonesy, of course, he would never start a fight.
Absolutely.
I remember, I tell you, grabbed him by the throat and said, settle down, was big Alex Wisak. You wouldn't want to be grabbed by him. I think it was Jeff Toten. I think he was almost carried off on a stretcher. And at the start, the one bloke that wasn't in it was Big Damage. He was standing in front with the goals, in the goal square with the ball. So that was a great rivalry. Obviously, the North Geelong Bellpost Hill, obviously they had the dynasty, the great Bellpost Hill dynasty, but North Geelong had them 3 times, I think, in that small period of time. They actually pinched one off them. They were able to get one off them, but Bellpost Hill were able to win. Well, I think they won about 7 out of 8. So they've got to be mentioned in every rivalry, everything you ever mention about finals. And that was a terrific, terrific rivalry. Compliments, I guess, had to go to Darren Ryan, Doggy Ryan. He got a side up from North Geelong. He broke the sequence a little bit, but that was a great rivalry. Bannockburn Thompson was a great rivalry. They've played in 4 or 5 of them since the millennium and always been pretty good, tough, hard games. But I think my one for the millennium, and again, I'm being as biased as I can possibly be, but 5 years in a row, even though the first couple weren't quite in the millennium, but Bannockburn and Werribee Centrals from about, I think it was 98, 99, 2000, 2001.
Yep.
And I think Bannockburn were good enough to win the first 2. And then Werribee Centrals made a momentous decision and sacked me as president, and we won the next 3. But
I always said you'd be holding them back, right?
Well, I must have been holding them back because they came out blokes like Festuca and Andrew Howlett coached them those 3 years. 3 years he coached for 3 flags. You can't get any better than that. Heath Buck was running around. Luke Luddick. Geez, they had some Simon Calvert. Geez, they had some great players. But I tell you what, Bannockburn had some great champion players there too. Big Endo was pretty good. There was a couple of Shaws running around doing damage. Troy Colliger, which I saw his kid's name on one of the team sheets. I don't know if he's playing today.
Yeah, he is. Young Dylan, yes.
That's his young bloke, is he? Well, I tell you what, if he's half as good as Nappies, he'll be a ripper for Bannockburn. I remember Clinton Shaw played the game of his life in one of them. It was a really great rivalry. The great Billy Caldo, the late great Billy Caldo, and I started up the King of the Highway Trophy, which still goes on today. And the rivalry on field is still very, very hot. Off field, again, like it should be, have a couple of beers with each other. The respect between those two teams were just unbelievable.
Yep. Well, that's what footy's about, isn't it? To play as hard as you like out on the ground, but once the siren's gone, that should be all done and dusted.
That's it, yep.
Walk inside and enjoy life.
Except for one year, the blue in the crowd. I won't mention the late Gary Robinson's name, poor old Gary, but he donged something. He donged Luke Luddick over the bench, and she was on for young and old. Spectators, I think the Bissets might have been in it.
And speaking of that, Lenny was in during the week. She said to pass on her regards to you.
What a lovely lady.
And look out, as I said, the rain hadn't started before, but it's now starting to come down. Looks like it might be steady for a little while.
I think it adds to the contest, though, doesn't it? It just makes it's a good day for rough and tough footy, in and under.
Well, we haven't seen too much of it, so it's
it might be a bit more of a low-scoring game, but I don't mind it at all for the contest.
What it might take out of it is the Rattley's mark of the day. You know I've got to sing that out. So if some bloke in the last quarter, we haven't had one, takes the easiest chest mark of all time, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it. The mighty Rattley's Pies.
Right, Arch, you can go into your
Dale. I'll get through this pretty quickly. Number 5, I've got Corio versus North. Battle in the 90s. They played in 2 grand finals. Good rivalry there. Number 4, North Geelong versus Bellpost Hill. Played in 3 in a row, and North Geelong, of course, broke the run of Bellpost Hill's domination. Number 3, got Werribee versus Bannockburn. 5 in a row. It's quite an unbelievable feat there. Great rivalry. Number 2, Anarchy versus North Geelong. More for the the antics with the punch-ons, and obviously a big fight in the early 90s. And then my number 1, I got Thompson versus Bannockburn. Stems back to the early 90s. A Div 2 grand final it was. Started the send-off rule. I'm sure you boys know about that. Thompson were 8 goals up, and a physical Bannockburn stormed up. Won the game easy. Thompson played them again in 96 at home against the powerful Bannockburn side on a muddy, wet ground at Godfrey Street, where Thompson controlled the ground and went up the following year to the Second Division Premiership. We also had 2003 grand final teams with 4 seasons in a 1 grand final 1 day.
When it's an insulation on the roof,
right away, huge. 2006, an undefeated Thompson prevailing, came champions. 2019, I think we all remember back to that grand final as well, where a fiery Bannockburn came home in the last quarter. I think Jarks had a huge last quarter and won the game for Bannockburn on that day, and Thompson were no doubt favourites. So, what about you, Smithy? What rivalries you got?
Before you start, Smithy, that send-off, when the send-off rule come in, was Alan Woodman running around in them days?
Oh, gee, I don't know. No, I don't think so.
No?
No, I think he got one of the Evans boys one day out at Geelong West there one day. I don't think he was sent off, though.
No, I thought that started it. I think he got more than one.
Yeah, well, he might have got one. The other one might have come in. He might have got the other one as well.
I don't know. I think about 7 went down, so they thought we better bring a send-off rule in.
Yeah, no, as I said, he probably deserved. Well, it was just Lee Matthews the other night, and he was talking about having the send-off rule, like in that case where Brian Myers got back. And if they know he can't go back, he reckons that's a perfect opportunity to bring that red card back in and say, well, you'll have in 10 minutes as well. So I know the game has modernised a fair bit, but Lee's still back in my time, I reckon, so I don't mind that.
Well, you've got to get it right, though, because the bloke that whoever gets hit, he won't be able to come back on either.
No.
No matter what.
No.
Okay.
I haven't actually. I've got games, or clubs that have played each other, and not particularly in relation to any particular one in particular. But I've listed the North Geelong Anarchy, North Geelong Corio, and Corio Anarchy games in all finals. When you typify a day of Anzac Day, when it was all about war, these games were just that, as I said, and it's just amazing when you go back and think. Between these three clubs in the same league, how many players have actually gone from one to the other to the other? I can't think of anyone else that's like no one from Bannockburn would go to Inverleigh and play footy over there. because of that rivalry and what it means to each other.
Upon, wasn't it?
But these three clubs, if you've seen the number of players that have gone from one to the other and back again, it's just absolutely amazing. I reckon it just throws me a bit. Werribee and Bannockburn, as you said, for the 5 times that they have cropped up against each other, I think that in itself, in any period of time, as I said, it's probably unrelated, other than North Shore probably playing, I don't know, but whoever the North Shore would have played in.
West Saints, I remember them playing.
Yeah, so, as I said, they would have a history there, I would think. Belpost Hill versus East Geelong, I think that's been a pretty good rival between the two clubs. And it's amazing even to today, you see the games that they play each other, even though they're well separated on the ladder, the games are always close for some reason. I don't know why that is. Belpost Hill, North Geelong. Also a great rival. I think they said, you've already mentioned there was 3 games in a row where they played in finals against each other. And I suppose, as I said, Bannockburn Inverleigh, because today, because we're playing that game this afternoon, they haven't played too often against each other, but the rival between these two is unheralded. Yeah, that was, 2 years ago? 2 years ago? Can't remember now, but it wasn't that long ago. But as I said, there's been some great clubs. The only other game I did mention when I looked through Alex's list, there was a game there against St Peters, and I think they played, I don't know, it might have been Corio. The score was 160 to 120. That's 280 points in a grand final. So there's obviously in those days, they're obviously just out there playing footy, and it must have been some good condition, because that's enormous. Like, we haven't seen anything like that or resemble anything. You go back through the results, and there's nothing close. Not even both sides getting 160 points.
Not even AFL.
No.
AFL.
No.
I think 72 might have been Carlton. 28-9, 177.
Yep. Well, you know that.
22-16, 150.
Yeah.
I think was the...
Yeah, well, I just looked at those results, and I couldn't believe that was a score in current football in a grand final. I thought that was just outstanding, and I would have loved to have actually gone and seen that game, because I reckon that would have been, and I know that's not rivalry because they wouldn't have played too much against each other, but that was just a game that really stood out when you look through results back to, I think Alex provided to 1981. So I think that's, as I said, that's just an outstanding performance for those two sides to be able to get out and produce that sort of footy.
Well, I think you've done a very, very good job, even though everything you said was irrelevant to the subject at hand.
Oh, I understand
but it doesn't matter.
No,
as I said to Archie, come and do what you want.
That's
Even
it.
if it's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, just say whatever you want.
That's pretty much what we do most weeks. We always get a bit off track, and that's not a bad way to do things either. So,
well, you didn't get onto the soccer.
No, don't like that game. Can't stand that. When Blake goes down, looks like he's been shot from the stands, but doesn't matter. Anyway, so both clubs are out on the ground now, so doing their warm-up. Obviously, we're going to have a short break in a short while, because the ceremony will take place out on the ground, so we'll come back to the studio and let them know when that's going to happen. Probably some 10 minutes away before they get that all underway. But we have had another shower of rain, and pretty heavy there before, so a lot of us, if you didn't pick up what we were saying, we might have to get some insulation through the roof, I think, just to help us out.
Well, it rained very heavily when I was talking, so I think people won't be too disappointed about that.
There'll be time that it happens, but it's good. As I said, it's going to add to the ground, and I can guarantee you out there this afternoon that none of these blokes out here wearing their boots, they won't have any alternatives to put on, I wouldn't think. They'll have the old moulded soled, or whatever they call them these days, and I reckon
no one uses long stops anymore, do they?
Nah, a bit of slipping and sliding going on out this afternoon.
Well, there is, but if you have a look at some of these boots, what are they, shark cats and all that, they're plastic moulded, but some of them are as good as the old long stops of the old boots from many, many years ago.
Are you still allowed to use long stops, Robbie?
Of course you are.
Yeah?
But then again, I'm pretty sure the umpires don't go in before the game.
And run their hands over them.
Run their hands over the boots, check your fingers for rings, earrings, the whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't think you see that much more anymore. But
check for the odd nail hanging out the bottom.
Yeah, but I'm like you. Like, when you go to the footy, I took 2 pair of boots, the moulded soles and the long stops. And you wore them appropriately to what the conditions were. And you're right, that does not happen.
Just to screw them in, is that right?
Yeah, screw-ins. Well, the earlier ones, I didn't wear the earlier ones, but I remember my dad had a pair, and that's why we always say, there's an old saying, everybody including the boot stutter. Well, the boot stutter used to get them on this little anvil thing and bang them in with a hammer because they had little nails in them. So that was before even screw-ons. Well, that were the first there, because there wasn't any moulded or anything then. It was just knock in.
Yeah.
And in the end, they were square.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that was varied, they varied between this length and that length, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you knocked them in too far, the nails come through and hurt your feet.
Yeah, no, as I said, I was privy to that sort of boot at one stage. As I said, I always used to carry 2 pairs of boots, but as I said, today's football, I'd be very surprised that anyone in this club or any of these two sides would have a second pair of boots other than another pair of Molden that they can. But the ground's mostly now, at this stage, would be too bloody hard anyway because we haven't had any rain. This is the first day of the rain we've had.
Exactly, and it might not get that slippery until we get too much of it. But as I say, I can go back to screw-ins, but I would say at your age, you'd go back into the nail-in ones, wouldn't you?
I
would have thought.
It does frustrate
I have seen them.
It does frustrate though, doesn't it, when you do see a really wet day and you see players slipping and sliding all day and you think, why don't they use the long stops more?
Well, they haven't got any, unfortunately. But what was your first pair of footy boots?
Probably just it would have been just a pair of probably Adidas boots with. I think it was. I don't think I had the screw-ins. I had the screw-ins. I think. Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I had a plastic pair of Rombarassi Juniors. You remember them?
No.
They were plastic. The stops were plastic, but you didn't use them in a game. I'll tell you what, I did have a pair of White Diamond at one stage. They were good boots.
White Diamonds.
Yeah, White Diamond.
Gee, mate, you must have
About
been
expensive, yeah.
You must have been in the better elite shopping than I went to.
And Dennis Dove owns a sports store in Werribee. Gee, he helped us out, Dennis Dove. And a pair of Adidas Striker.
Oh, yeah.
They were green stripes, but the toe was square.
Yeah.
You could kick drop kicks. Even I could kick a drop kick in them days with them. They were magnificent.
I reckon I can remember the Striker boots.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But that's, as I said, that's a long time ago, Grub. Did you ever still got your first pair of boots?
No.
Yeah, no. I think mine got spiders in. I think I threw them out.
But guess what colour they were? The actual boot itself.
Oh, not white like Phil Carman.
Black. Everybody wore black.
Yeah.
And I'm looking out there now at blue, white, yellow, orange, pink. You know, they were all black. They might have had different colour stripes, but they were black boots.
Did you have white back then as well? Did that start coming in or not?
No, I actually remember, I think I saw Sammy Newman wear a pair of white boots. That had been the first pair. And then Phil Carman, the white boots. Nobody wore white boots.
They were still socially accepted more than if you wore green or pink, though.
They weren't around.
Yeah, not at all.
They weren't around. White boots came in when you didn't have black.
I always reckon if you're wearing those colour boots, you'd want to be extra special because you're going to bring attention to yourself with the colour of the bloody things. So
out here a few years back, and the bloke who's playing today was playing at the time at Werribee VFA in Tristan Battaglia.
Oh, yep.
And remember, he came back, Werribee let him go for one game, and he played here.
Yes.
And he ran out with these orange boots. And I remember distinctly Jason Doherty saying, well, he's got the orange boots, he better get a kick. He got 50 of them. He absolutely dominated, so he's allowed to wear them. But if you wear them and you don't get a kick, you get noticed.
Yeah, no, as I said, it's one of those things. As I said, I'm not particularly. Well, you look at what about your mate Tav Sawney? He wears a blue and a white.
Well, I've never seen that.
He's worn that even when he's a kid.
Yeah,
playing junior footy at Winch, he always used to do the same thing.
But is that just a superstition? Do you think?
I'm not too sure, but I think his brother used to wear the other one, the other side of it. I reckon. So, or one of his mates. But I'm sure there was 2 of them that when I coached the Bannockburn under-18s here, Tav and his brother, or Tav and one of his mates, they wore the opposite boots. So
well, there you go.
Yep, and as I said, that's been something. Now, whether that's just a superstition, he does. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure whether he changes them across now. So the blue boot one week and then blue on the other. But
was it Dermy Brereton that started the coloured boots? By memory?
I don't know.
I think it might have been.
But I tell you who would have provided them all. The great Teddy Whitten would have got them. If they want orange, Teddy Whitten would have got them orange. Just the siren has sounded for the umpires to come out on the ground, Ivan. I haven't been mentioned in the last 2 weeks because I didn't have them. But I went and spoke to the umpires. It's Chris Jones, who's obviously one of the best umpires in the comp, has been for a long time. Hamish Irvin, he's a new bloke that I haven't seen, but apparently umpires very, very well. And young Jake McLeod. So 3 wonderful umpires. They will have a really good day of umpiring as well as football.
Heard very good things about Hamish Irvin.
Yeah, same here. But he's got to pass the grub test. Yeah. That's pretty hard sometimes.
That takes a bit of going, doesn't it? Look, we might go back to the studio now because we've got both clubs lining up for the ceremony that takes place on a Anzac Day basis. So we'll go back to take a short break and come back once this has completed. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. As I said, all the pre-game entertainment, we'll call it, has gone through, and players now doing a bit more of a warm-up after standing there for about 5 or 10 minutes just while that all took place. But they're going through and just getting themselves back in order again now before this game does start. We've had some rain. Rain looks like it's now going to continue for most of this day, and it will make for a very interesting game, I hope. As I said, the school side of things might go out the door a little bit now, and it will be just a ground situation where we can hit the ball, take some ground, and hopefully have enough players down in the forward line which will be able to make something of it. As I said, from my point of view, I thought Bannockburn could win and would win, not comfortably, but would win. But now, with this rain, it's going to make it a very important day for a side to get a good start. Don't you think, Arch?
Oh, 100%, Dale. I can't wait to see this contest. I reckon the rain makes it, to be fair. Obviously, it's not going to be a day where skills are going to be the best, but it's going to show who's ready to go under and get the ball, who's going to run hard, who's going to be tough over the ball. And I think it's going to suit Inverleigh. They're probably not the favourites in this game. They've had 2 games this year. They're 0-2. They've lost both of them. They've been competitive in both, only losing by a couple of goals, a couple of points last round as well. So I think this might suit Inverleigh, and I'm actually going to tip them against Bannockburn, against the run, by 5 points today.
Point. That's it. Well, that's it. What do you reckon, Grub?
Yeah, I'm exactly opposite. I absolutely hate rainy day football. I used to love playing it, being a little bloke. I love playing in the rain. But I hate watching it, I've got to admit. To be quite honest, there's 3 things you have with the rain. And that's at the beach, playing cricket, and trying to watch footy. I wasn't quite sure who was going to win. I was going to go for Bannockburn because I've seen them this year, even though it was a practice match, and they had some really good players. I think that, who were you saying, Salah?
Yeah, Aaron Salah looked good that day. I thought young Cooper Edwards played all right.
Edwards was the other one. There was one other bloke too. I'll pick him up in a minute. And I just thought at the moment, on form's very hard to pick on form. As I said before, I made the mistake saying but that was Bellpost Hill. They have been competitive. Lost both games, have been competitive. Bannockburn have won the one. In the end, I reckon because of the rain, after hearing what Maury was saying with about 8 or 9 blokes who are under 20 or 21, I think if it's close, it might be just experience that counts. And the young kids at Inverleigh have not got that experience as of yet. And I think Bannockburn have. And purely for that alone in this run, I'm going to go for Bannockburn just.
Well, I hope by the end of the day they can actually hear us in the broadcast and it's coming through to people, because as I said, the listeners or the viewers will be able to see it and actually hear it or see the game better than probably we will, because I reckon by the end of the day it's going to get pretty dark, pretty black.
Oh, he's doing that now.
Well, that's it. So I'm not too sure. I've got the lights on, Grub, so they are on in effect.
I think the other thing too, Dale, is just looking at it, I might be wrong, but just look, I think Bannockburn might be a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
I think Inverleigh a little bit bigger, and a smaller side in this weather, it's going to suit them.
Grub, that's why one of the reasons why I'm tipping Inverleigh. I reckon the bigger body over.
Before you go, I don't think Bannockburn can win. Why is Bowden on the bench? Do tell me why.
Well, I do think, Rob, the bigger bodies actually might be more beneficial. Contrary to what you're saying, I think bigger bodies over the ball could be a key factor in today.
It looks like Josh Kunz is going to start in the ruck this afternoon. As I said, he played a pretty good game against Werribee last year, doing the ruck work. And I think that freedom away from centre half forward also helped him. I think Kelly last year, Bailey Kelly got 6, so he might need to stand up again this afternoon. Well, Siren now has a ball in the air with the umpire, and it's going to be ruckman going out at Kunska, and also ball comes out of the contest, goes towards the half or centre wing now. Ball on the ground. It's going to be Vine. He couldn't get head down to it. Over the ball is Jervis, gets the handball back outside, goes towards Marnie. He's tackled, and with no prior opportunity, umpire will come in and he will do what he did earlier in the game. So Lukey Wilson, as we said, he's doing the ruck work for Inverleigh. As I said, he will do most of it. Not too sure his relief will come from today with no Dalton Grundle there. Comes out the back, and that's into the hands of Young. Kicks back towards centre wing. Ball hits the ground. Peels there. Runs after it now. Plenty of time. Steadies. Usually good with the ball. Let it go or fed the ball out. Not too sure who he's looking for. He's got a little bit of support there, and now it's going to be held up once again. That was Love, I reckon, over the top of the contest, and the ball will now be thrown up in that position. So
another big factor, Dale, here when it's going to be tight and close is discipline. You have to have discipline.
Yep, so the ball thrown up again this time. Kunchka maybe over the top, gives it towards Love. Had a free shot at the ball, but unfortunately he missed the contact with it and was tackled there by Mayborn, I think it was. And it will be going back to the umpire once again. I think we might see just a little bit of this during the course of the day. Wilson up early, got down, actually went uncontested. Mayborn tries to force his way through. Ball comes out of the contest, goes in the hands of Lear. Lear goes back towards the forward pocket. Wilson in front, can't take the mark. Actually, it wasn't Wilson that took the mark. It was Brody Harding that went for the ball, and he couldn't take the mark. Ball goes over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in to take place.
Whose son's he?
Ricky.
Ricky Harding's son.
Yep, that's Rick's.
Well, we've got a couple of father sons playing here today, which is absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, you got Hendo's young bloke in the side as well.
Yes.
So
college, that's great to see.
So the ball now with the umpire and it's thrown back in. He's going to do a pretty good job there from the boundary line. Wilson front position, gets the ball down, comes out the back of the contest, and again, ball sitting on the ground now. Coming through the contest was Marnie again, couldn't take clean possession. And I reckon that might happen a fair bit this afternoon. Oh, was that a free kick? Umpire said yes, pushing the back, and free kick will go to Inverleigh.
Inverleigh now, as the rain just holds up for a minute. Could be good for the conditions. It went the way of Jaden Love. He now takes the player on, goes down that line. Centre wing here, good fly over the top, knocked through the hands. It's going to happen quite a bit today. Quick hands out of them, maybe a free kick to Inverleigh. Umpire says play on. As the players go with the ball, umpire takes his time, but he says give it to me, and we'll have a ball up just in front of us in the broadcast position. Luke will go up. Wilson, go up here. That's couldn't shut. Ball goes down. Well, one in the contest was Love. It'll be in and under all day as the ball comes wide off the boot. We're going to have our first throw-in of the day. As the rain just eases. To meet Wilson and Kuncha. Boundary umpire will come in a bit to make sure they get the distance. Ball in now, good throw. Wilson down, even contest. Tackled straight away was Jervies, and it's another stoppage. Bit of stop-start footy today. I think we're going to see quite a bit of it. Wilson and Kuncha again. Wilson goes the big fist over the top. Might get it into clean space here. Off hands quickly was Lear, and they got it moving forward. It comes out the back now. Here's Salah, picks up the ball. Good tackle. Handball over the top. Really looking, go forward here as a ball just trickles out of bounds, and be happy with that result. It'll be a throw in no more than 30 metres out.
Hey, what, you reckon it's hard for football? These young banderobbers are going to find a touch with a wet, slippery ball today.
Let's have it. Throw in now, no more than 30 metres out from Inverleigh's attacking goal here. Punch forward. A couple of players over the ball now. I think Salah was involved. Comes down Viney there as well. Handball out now. Viney grabs the ball. Good tackle it was by Mabum, and there's a bit of scruffle, and we'll have a ball in no more than 40 metres out. 4 minutes go on in the first quarter.
Good umpire.
Ball thrown up, comes out the back. Quick boot forward there by Sellers. Bounces towards centre wing. Perkins is out, goes over the top of his head. Stoney's there now. Picks the ball up. He goes back to the hut spot. 20 metres out, 40 metres out from goal. Ball goes back on ground, which we'll see a lot of, as we said before. Comes out the back, goes to Jervies. Jervies back to Seller once again. Looks up and goes back towards centre wing. Dan Groz didn't take the mark. Comes out the back. Ryan Bowden picks the ball up. He just decides to go long. Not too sure whether it's got some distance. Well, he got some distance. Going to run onto it there was Wilson. Puts it around the body, goes back towards the goal. It's going to run, carry, and it will run through for the first score of the afternoon. And that will be Bannockburn's one behind. They lead the game, and we've gone just over four and a half minutes. And it is the Buckley Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
Smithy, Austin Marnie, you know much about him?
No, young kid come through. I think he played a few games last year, Grub.
Looks like he's got the job on Bo Collins today.
Well, that'll be a big job there. So the ball's been kicked in from the full-back position again. This time Stoney takes the mark. So Stoney now from the back pocket for Inverleigh, looks to go towards centre wing. Wilson tries to make the ground. Young comes through. He taps the ball further afield. He goes back after it once again. Picked up again. Jervies puts boot the ball. Goes back to where it came from before. Again, ball gets out from the contest. Picked up. Cleared away out there by Love, I think it might have been. Handball comes back into Jervies, and he puts it back into their forward line. Going back was Kelly, into the hands now. Picked up there was Wilson. Just picked it up and put it down as quick as he had it. Umpire now says the ball was being held up, and he will come in at about the true centre forward position, and we will have a ball up. So both players, ruckman looking to get some ground down there. Looks like Kelly did the ruck work for Bannockburn. Ball from the contest. I think that was Lear that took it out of the contest. But Mayborn picks the ball up, bit of strength, got her hands away, went to Marnie, and again he goes back towards goal. Has it been kept in? It has at this stage. Batalia's got it, over the top, back to Perkins, left boot, round the body, goes to the top of the square. Lear couldn't take the mark. Good spoil from there behind by Inverleigh, picked up out there. Good strong tackle on Warren, and without any prior opportunity, umpire again doing the right thing will come in and the ball up will take place. Top of the goal square for Bannockburn.
That was Jervis there, great tackle. Going to see, he's going to be one of the ones, the captain. He's going to show grit all day. Loves the in under ball. We'll have the ball up now. Ball off hands. Couldn't they get a boot to it? They couldn't quite on that occasion. It was money. Comes out now, bobbling around. Badagala in there as well. Umpire's seen a free kick and he's going to pick it out to Inverleigh.
Jared
40. Burkhoff comes down. Oh, it's not a great kick. It's turned over. Going to see quite a few skill errors today. There's another one. Coming through the other way was
he's
Gin,
dropped that. He's dropped it.
There's going to be a free kick now to Bannockburn. Good tackle. Comes wide now to the top of the goal square. Over the top, looking for the big marks. It was off hands. Bannockburn keeping the ball in possession now. Inverleigh fighting to get it. Come back. Viney was there. Handball off now. Here they go, Bannockburn. They get an opportunity now through Devlin. He kicks and he's kicked the goal. He snapped it onto the boot from 45 metres and he kicks the first goal of the match of the day. It's an early contender. I tell you what, Grub, for Connectel goal of the day. You might not see too many highlights. And that was one of them.
Well, very much so. And what scoreboard was that on that he just kicked that?
It was a Buckley scoreboard.
Buckley scoreboard. Thank you very much.
1-1-7 Bannockburn to no score. 8 minutes gone of the first quarter. Brought to you by Buckley's.
That's going to be the tail of the tape, I think. Get it in your forward line and keep it down. Hope the opportunity comes your way.
So back in the middle we go. Wilson gets the ball down. Gain goes towards Bowie Collins. Couldn't take clean possession. Tapped out. Picked up at there by Love. He's tackled. So that will be a big factor in today's game, is not letting the ball come out. Both sides are putting a lot of pressure on around the contest. Kunska again doing the ruck work. Wilson front position. Again tries to tap the ball from the contest. Again picked up out there. Working through. It was Carey, I think it was once again, but didn't get boot the ball. Picked up Marnie round the body. Goes towards Battaglia. Picked up by Grozdanovsky. Ball comes out in the tackle. He goes back after it. Dived on top of it. Might be in trouble. Umpire said no. He's got to let it go. So it's come out of the contest. Kunska gets the handball outside. Marnie again's there. Viney's there trying to work the ball again. Did so. Got the handball up forward. And that was to Reed. Ball now back in the hands of Bowden. He goes round the body, back forward. Again, contest was made out there. Gets through the contest, over the top, ends up in the hands of Peel. Gives the handball away. Kick was smothered off the boot. Inverleigh go after it in Cloessi. Got the handball away again. Probably not effective, but it's going to be picked up by Reed. Over the top, back towards Wilson. Bit of pressure on the big fella coming through, and that was done very nicely there by Beardsell. He kicks into the forward line, and that's a nice way to kick into the hands of Ryan Perkins. Now, I would have thought he would have started back, but obviously having a run up forward. And Ryan Perkins from about 45 metres out directly in front can go back and shoot for goal.
Well, I think it's good coaching, Smithy, because, all right, down back's probably going to suit Bannockburn a little bit better. You and I both think that. But maybe Ronnie Pilgrim's saying, well, all right, he's only a kid. He's got to learn every facet of the game. Maybe it's a detriment to the side, maybe it's not, but I'm going to play him there. So that's good coaching.
So he kicks that goal. I'm not too sure he's going to get the distance. He will, but it's offline.
Back to the back line.
Yeah, through for a minor score. 1-2. Might just kick the ball a little bit better than his old man. Oh, I don't know about that. Grip wasn't too bad in front of goal.
Yeah, he was, and I tell you what, big credit there goes to Beardsell. He chipped in there, a beautiful bit of play, beautiful kick.
So Bannockburn 1-2, Inverleigh yet to score. We've ticked over 10.5 minutes.
On the what scoreboard?
Yes, there's the big one, Buckley's.
They're coming out now, Inverleigh. They're going to try and sneak their way through. It was a good hand over the top on that occasion by Love. Bannockburn win the possession back. They're just winning the ball around the ground for the moment. It's a good tackle in and under. It might be Jervis there again. No, it wasn't. It was Beardsell. Had that good kick inside 50 before as an Inverleigh player coming to the boundary line. He might have done a finger there. Wilson, good tap over the back. Now they've got some space. Comes in. Well gathered. Good hands in the contest. Coming in just in front of us.
Heenan.
Couldn't gather the ball. It was Heenan.
Days like this, well, I'm glad I'm sitting in the box.
Oh, yeah.
Rain getting a bit heavier here as ball's coming back in right in front of us. True wing, Trent wing on front of us in the broadcast position. Jervis might robe this one. It gets out the back. Good hands down. It was well done on the boot quickly. It was from Salah. It was Marnie. Comes over, handball. They might go inside 50 here. Bannockburn, weaving his way through. It was Badagala. Can he find the target? He can't. The Inverleigh defender was in front on that occasion. Grozanowski does well. On the outer side now, chasing the ball. It might run out of bounds, and the ball beats all comers. Have a ball in on the outer side. 1-8, Bannockburn to no score yet. Inverleigh, 11 minutes gone on the Buckley's scoreboard. Umpire, big high throw in there. Good effort. It was well run by the front of the pack by Kuncha. Well done on the ruck there. Inverleigh, most representation. Pushing the back, maybe umpire says play on. Couldn't quite go to the ball around the corner. Kelly tried his best. It's still in play, and the umpire's seen a free kick. Going to go the way of Inverleigh, so they'll kick out of defence now.
So ball now deep in defence, as said. Inverleigh with the ball. They look to bring the ball back towards the centre wing. Kick, that was great for her hands there. Reed snuck in and took the mark. He's been good in the first couple of games. Will need to continue today. Wilson on hands and knees. Got the handball out. Unfortunately, players had gone past. Ball goes over the boundary line. A throw-in will take place. So we're just waiting now left for the umpire to pick the ball up and throw it back in. But sure looks like he's had the operation on the shoulder, mate. He had the wings clipped, has he?
No, he must have,
Yeah, so umpire now about to restart the game. Ball goes back in. Again, back from the ruck contest. Picked up Henderson, little handball out. Goes to Lear. Kick not great. Goes into their forward line. Mark not taken out there. Maybe should have been a free kick there, but again, kicked off the ground. That was smart, but it's been intercepted out there. Mark taken by Marr. So Marr from the back line goes across the ground. Was a dangerous kick. Player needs to stay on his feet, but fell over. Picked up out there, and again, ball comes back into the forward line. And Wilson has taken the mark, so he can go back from the forward pocket and have a look at goal. I reckon he's going to try the round the corner where they all use now. Grub, will he go straight at it?
Well, I'll tell you,
round the body.
He's going to go around the body, but if nothing else, this kid's got some really, really good skills.
So Wilson now round the body, kicks towards goal. Hasn't brought it back anywhere near enough, and says it is through 4. No, it's not. It's out of bounds to the full on the far side.
I think in the wet, Grub, you're better off going the drop punt.
I think
less margin for error.
I don't think it's going to be a point. I think it's going to be a point.
You go to the video?
No, we'll go to the video, but I reckon it's going to be a point. The umpire's saying it passed inside the post, so it's got to be a point.
Goes off the goal umpire's call, surely. It is.
Not from there.
Well, if it's going to be a close one, you want to get them right, and they've done just that, the umpires.
So the ball brought back in from the full-back position. It goes out to the half-back line. They move the ball well in the lead, go back towards centre wing, through the hands out there. And that was Cloesi, couldn't take the mark out. The block, the ball comes. Handball back inside. You tell you what, you don't want to overuse the ball, and that's what they've done here. They've turned the ball over. Coming through was Heenan. He's also tried to pick the ball up, but he was tackled pretty much straight away. And umpire will now come in once again. Tell you what, was going to be hard to pick players because we didn't know who most of them were, with a lot of changes in both sides.
No one else can see them. Just make up any
Well,
name.
that's it. We'll just call a name. Just hope they're not too smart on the television or on the broadcast. So ball cleared away again. Jervis goes back towards the half-forward line. Kelly's out in front, but he can't keep it in the field of play. It goes over, and we will have another throw-in between half-forward and centre wing, far side of the ground.
Problem with that is we've got the best cameraman in the business in Brad. He don't miss nothing.
He's not missing nothing, mate, but I reckon he might be getting a chill out there.
Told him I had an umbrella for him.
No ball from the ruck contest again, comes down, Henderson went down, couldn't pick it up, picked up by Maybaum, goes into the forward line, Battaglia, front position, again, picked up, Bowie Collins there, swings out of trouble, got the handball away, goes back outside, into the hands of Peel, and he delivers the ball back towards centre wing. McIntosh was out there, I think, again, couldn't take the mark, and we expect that there will be a few balls pass through their hands today, and again, back over the boundary line, another throw in far side of the ground. So we've gone just over 15 and a half minutes. It is Bannockburn 1-3, Inverleigh yet to score on the Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
Early on, Bannockburn winning the ball all around the contest here. The Inverleigh's first call to order is try and win the ball, not overuse it, and they're going inside 50 as Ball's knocked back down now. Big contest of players, and we'll have another ball up here.
The umpires are going to earn their money today with these ball ups. There's going to be 1,000 of them.
Boundary umpires, I reckon, as well, Grubbers. Yeah. Ball's in now. Wilson battled hard as Junker. Ball into Inverleigh's forward 50 here. They might be able to score. It was well kept in on that occasion by Dixon, but well marked in defence. It was Marnie. Wasn't it? It was Salah. Salah, good kick along. They're just retaining the ball well here. Hard to do in the wet. Get some clean position. Goes to the outer side now. Centre wing. Over the top. The pack of players. Inverleigh win the ball back. They might take it inside their forward 50 here. Warren was there. Kicks up. But well done again from Bannockburn. Well set. They're going to take the game on this time. Go through the middle of the ground. The kick just off now. Inverleigh back inside. Forward 50 off the chest. Bannockburn now is playing ping pong football here. As it rolls into Inverleigh's forward 50. Got to be clean. He is in the wet. And it's a great mark on the chest of Batagalla. The Lachlan variety goes inboard now to Bowden. Playing good possession football here. Bannockburn in the wet. Over the top. Through hands. Although they're still going to get the possession back through Devlin. Devlin lost the ball. Coming through now. Again there was Batagalla. Ain't it under again?
I call him Battaglia.
Real name
is Battaglia.
Battaglia. So come into the forward 50 of Bannockburn again. Oh, it was a great pickup in the wet from Peel. Down now, pack of players off hands of Reed. Coming through, Battaglia was there. And getting tackled with the ball was Love. Good quality of football in the wet, it must be said, by Bannockburn. Not afraid to take the options in and play possession football. Haven't. Ball up here. Junker versus Wilson. Winning the ball on that occasion was Junker. Comes back now, and it's going to be a mark coming the other way by Bo Collins as he tries to go across goal, though it's going to be intercepted. Might be another opportunity for Bannockburn here. Shot a goal and just missing to the near side was Bailey Kelly. 1-3-9 Bannockburn to no score. Inverleigh. 18 minutes gone on the Buckley's Entertainment scoreboard.
Davey Peel is going to be doing the kicking in duties for the Inverleigh side. Has Stoney in the back pocket if he wants to go short to him, but I think he will go a little bit longer, and that's what he's going to do. Kick wasn't really well directed. Coming across, the mark not taken there, but at ground level, I think it might have been Devlin that tried to attack the ball. Couldn't pick it up cleanly. Ball hits the ground. It's kicked out of the contest now. Leading the race for the ball's Warren. He's tackled. And again, no prior opportunity there. Umpires are allowed the game to flow here. Ball still in the motion. Ball is kicked through the other side now. Picked up by Love. He goes back towards centre wing. Bowden is there. Snedgekoff, he tries to tap the ball over the top. Ryan Bowden's there. He kicked the ball off the ground. Will suit Marnie. He can't pick the ball up as yet. Can do it now. Got the handball further afield. Missed his target, but on hands and knees, Love taps the ball back inside. Did that very nicely. Again, back towards centre wing. Mark dropped by Young. Handballs outside to Lear. Little quick kick. Kunska, good work below the knees. Picked the ball up very nicely. Goes back to Bath. He looks across the ground. Dangerous kick. Had to be good. Will he find someone out there? Mark not taken out there by Edwards, but it's got support inside. Handball goes back in towards Henderson. Kicked off the ground. I suppose that was okay. He's got a teammate out there. Went back after it once again. Picked up. Ball is kicked further into the forward line. Races on. McIntosh comes at it. He picks the ball up. Gets around one. Lost control of it. Then went to ground and was taken maybe a little bit high there in the forward motion, and he will win a free kick. So McIntosh just outside the forward or the centre square.
I thought he was a bit stiff, actually. I thought he fell into the tackle. There wasn't much the tackler could do. He was going down. But it was there.
McIntosh goes out wide. Mark not taken out there. Spoil from behind. Marnie at ground level picks the ball up. He looks, goes long and quick into the forward line. Leading in the race for the ball is Perkins. Has time to steady. Went one way, back the other. Needs to use it and will go into the forward line. Kelly is there. Oh, gee, it could have been a push.
Yeah, he paid it.
He did. He saw it.
Looked like it to me. I'm a long way away, but
definitely did. So Kelly now was would normally, I would say, in a dry day would be in range. Heavier ball. And he is pretty confident. He's going back to have a look at him. I suppose when you kicked 6 the previous week, you would be confident that you can make the distance and also have the accuracy to go along with it. So Bailey Kelly now steps in, will kick from 45, gives himself a little bit. No, he's not going to make the distance. Ball in the forward line. Fletcher Wilson up over the top, brings the ball down to Battaglia, picked up and kicked towards goal. There's a free kick being given.
Is it going to be advantage or no, the other way?
It's going to be 50 metres as well. Not too sure why, but...
well, I think he paid the free kick.
Oh, okay, yep.
He just kicked it anyway.
Yep.
You leave Bowie Collins alone, mate. He's a mate of mine.
So the ball now from the back line. Kick comes out wide. Put Viney under a little bit of pressure. Yeah, that was confident pick up with one hand. Looks back inside again. Put some pressure on his teammate there. Picked up by Miles. Round the body. Back towards centre forward. Going across. Reed read that nicely. We took a couple of steps, but he decided to pull himself up. And now he's going to go back. Kick the ball low and flat into the goals. And a mark has been taken out there. And that is by Mason Dixon. And he's about 25 metres out directly in front and can go back and shoot for Inverleigh's first.
Well, it's only about the third time they've gone down there without pressure on the kicker. And the first two were terrible kicks and went straight to a Bannockburn player. This one was a beauty, and it'll give them a chance to register their first major for the day.
So no easy set shot in the rain, though.
He hasn't been a good shot for goal.
No, that's why
we've seen that before.
The opportunity to do it.
So Mason Dixon, this would be a confidence-boosting move for him.
I thought he was all right last year.
Yeah, no. So Mason Dixon steps in from directly in front of goal, kicks at it, stabs at it. The umpire has moved across, but he says that will be okay. Inverleigh have their first. They move to one straight goal. Bannockburn 1-4. We've gone 22 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
Look, it was really good play because what we normally expect from the big fella in Dixon is to maybe take a couple of Routley's marks of the day. That's not going to happen today. So what they've got to do is go in better, and he gets out on his own like that. But the kicking has to be very good, and at that stage it was. If that continues, they'll be okay. But if the first two ones were bad, that puts them behind the 8 ball. But it gets them back in the game a bit because they were struggling.
So
Sharon Wilson back in the middle now. It's off hands from Viney, and he's picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of Josh Viney now. He's going to send Inverleigh back in attack. He's gone the short option. Off hand, it was from Reed as Bannockburn are going to win back possession here. It's going to go through Devlin. He's clean with the ball as goes inside trying to find and does find Perkins. He swings around in his right boot. They might have a shot on goal here. They have, and he's kicked the goal.
Brody Harding.
Just get the ball forward at any cost there, Bannockburn, and well done from Perkins to find Harding and have the composure to kick a right foot check side and look pretty good off the boot. He's kicked the goal, and 2-4-16 to 1 goal straight. Inverleigh, 24 minutes go on the Buckley's Entertainment scoreboard.
I just love to see that. Like, if you see that Battaglia to Battaglia that happens, you go, well, that should happen. A lot of experience in wet weather football. But you've got Perkins to Harding, two young fellas. I reckon young Harding's had a... not Harding, the other fella, the other kid.
Perkins.
I reckon he's just about had a hand in every score they've had. He's a live wire up there, even in this wet weather. So it'll be interesting to see how he keeps going. But it's just great to see young kids combine for a lovely goal.
So back in the middle once again. As I said, 24 gone. We're not too sure how much time would be left in this quarter. Ball from that contest went through the hands of Lear. There's a hold, and it's going to Marnie, is it? So I'm not too sure. I didn't see the hole off the ball, but he's got the ball now. He's going to deliver the ball long into their forward line. Hands not there again. Harding picks the ball up. He's tackled. Ball comes out into the hands now of Wilson. Looks outside. That's a nicely directed kick. The mark will be taken. No, it won't. Ball comes to ground. Again, the ball now has moved through through Sharrock. He goes inside. That was a nice bit of work into the hands of Reed. Can he finish? He was touched off the boot. The ball comes into the hands of Meehan. Looks at goal, and he doesn't miss. Casey Meehan has answered very quickly, and Inverleigh have their second. They're two straight. Bannockburn 2-4. Buckley's Entertainment Centre second quarter scoreboard. We have gone 25 minutes.
And I think that might be a contender. That was really good play from the wing. Bannockburn hardly touched it. Meehan finished it off. And Kempe Engineering read the play goal that a contender because it was a real good goal. That's two in a row. Now Bannockburn, I reckon Bannockburn wanted off a little bit. They've got to get back on the job because they were absolutely dominating, not on the scoreboard, but they were dominating play for a while. And now Inverleigh's just got their nose back in front on the ball. I don't know what the scoreboard is. What's the scoreboard? 4 points Bannockburn.
So back in the middle once again, Kunchka, he went up, ball comes out of that contest, Love's had it, he can't win possession of it. Henderson's in there working hard, but again, umpire says the ball's been held up, let's have it back. And we'll try it once again. So will be Wilson and Kunchka Dane doing the ruck work. Wilson front position, taps it down. Ball did nicely. Went to the hands there of Haberfield. His kick didn't travel too far. High says the umpire. Free kick will go to Jervy. So Jervy's decides to go now and go quickly into their forward line out towards Battaglia. Ball comes off the him contest by Peel. Miles was there. Lears also picked the ball up. He was tackled out. Miles lost it. Kick. Well, I don't know whether that was the right decision. Ball ends now in the hands of Kunchka. He kicks the ball. Only travelled as far as he's. Well, only a couple of feet there. The ball picked up again and went back into the forward line. It didn't go too far. Ball now over the boundary line, 10 metres around from the iron post. He went one way, went back, and then sold himself into trouble, I think.
Well, he did it that bad. He confused you. He didn't know how to finish the sentence.
I didn't know. He actually lucky he made contact with the boot.
He was. It was very lucky.
So the ball in now, 25 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. They just need to settle here after Inverleigh have kicked the last goal, and they've looked better around the ground in the last 5 or so minutes. Ball back in now. Good tackling under there was Jervies as the ball squirts out to 55 out from Bannockburn's goal. They're going to keep pushing out and they're going to get a stoppage. So outer side wing now. Bannockburn just need to retain possession here. Inverleigh starting to get back their field play as it comes out now. Ball back in. Bo Collins is there and he'll see the ball out. So we're going to see a lot of stoppage footy today, aren't we, Grub?
Yeah, if I was the umpire, get in and pay a dodgy free kick and get the ball moving. Otherwise, it's going to just keep getting knocked back over the boundary line over there.
Outer side, centre wing.
Pay one each now and again.
Back in. Juncut wins the ball out of the ruck, goes forward. It was a good kick and in front. It's a good mark. Bannockburn are going to see themselves inside 50 again now. They find a target. They go to the tip of the goal square. Is there going to be a mark? It's fist from behind. Battalia's there. Can he gather the ball? Just in front of him now. He weighs the tackle and the ball's going to go out of bounds eventually. So we'll have a ball in 25 metres out. Bannockburn with good field position here. 2-4-16. Bannockburn to 2 goals straight in the lead. 28 minutes gone on the Buckley's Entertainment scoreboard.
Umpire about to restart play. It was said from the forward pocket area. Perkins looks like he's going to do the ruck work down there this time. So Ryan Perkins goes up against Luke Wilson. Wilson front position, takes the ball out of the contest and puts it on the left boot. Reckon that might have a bit of width on it, and it's gone just outside the boundary line. So free kick will go back to Bannockburn. And taking the ball, looks like Jervis is going to be the player that's going to kick the ball back towards the goal square. Plays on, steps around one. Kick wasn't that great. And it will go out of bounds on the full. So both players making some errors there.
Took one too many steps and put himself under pressure. The kick should have come about a step earlier, I think.
So Will Stoney's going to be the recipient of the free kick now from the back pocket. Advised to go long, and that's exactly what he's done. He goes outside the forward 50, picked up Kunchka at the back of the contest. Handball's back inside towards Marnie. Ball comes out now. Snezkov, he get the ball. His kick was smothered. Peel just puts boot to ball. Runs back to centre half back. Ryan Bowden, the last man in the line. He takes possession of it. Goes outside to Salah. Nice clean pick up. Handball's along the ground. Goes back towards Jervis. He's tackled. The ball goes over the boundary line. And players held up. We'll have another.
Now that's a free kick to Bo Collins, if you ask me.
So, can't see what's happening there.
Well, Jervis again threw him to the ground for the third time for the afternoon for no reason, and it's gone the other way. Jervis started it, and he's got the free kick.
So the ball's gone back into the forward line now, out the back, going towards Fletcher Wilson. I don't think he can claim the mark, can he? Oh, no, that was Harding. Not too sure what happened there. What was that free kick for?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Not too sure what that was for. Oh, was it a push? Anyway, it's Fletcher Wilson's got the recipient free kick now. Again, with this wet ball, I reckon he might be just outside range, but he's going back as though he can kick the distance. So Fletcher Wilson has 2 behinds for the afternoon. Take his very best from this point. He kicks towards goal. It will land in the square, and
it might be the siren too,
siren
isn't
has sounded, so there's no score there. I don't think it went through, and it hasn't. Umpire says that's it. It will be Bannockburn going in at quarter time, 2-4-16, leading Inverleigh on 2 straight goals. Goal kickers to this stage of the game is Brody Harding and Joel Devlin, both 1 each, and for Inverleigh, Mason Dixon and Casey Mann. Take a short break. Second quarter action not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. We had it probably most of that quarter with a fair bit of rain. It appears now to have passed for a little while. And hopefully now we can get a little bit of dry weather, and not that it'll make a difference to the ground, so I reckon it's going to continue to be slippery out there. And as I said, at this stage, 2 goals apiece, and Bannockburn with a few more opportunities, but Inverleigh have done very nicely late in the quarter to get themselves back those 2 goals. Grub, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I thought Bannockburn, when they were 2 goals and Inverleigh hadn't scored, I thought, look out. If they keep the ball up there, they're going to get 4 or 5 and get too far away in this wet weather to be caught. But give Inverleigh their due. They got the ball. They got a couple of really nice bits of play, kicked a couple of goals and got themselves back in the game. How you pick better players on the ground here is absolutely beyond me. But I just
on the ground might be the operative word.
Yeah. I just love the way young Perkins is getting in there and getting involved, being involved in everything up there. Lovey plays his normal good game. And it's hard to find blokes that have played really, really well. I thought the ruck contest has been intriguing, and Wilson's won a lot of the tap-outs, but Kunchka's playing pretty well across the ground. So that's pretty even. Bowie Collins has been around for a fair while, and you get thrown to the ground and you retaliate. Now, the retaliator always gets caught is a saying it's been 100 years old. Right, now the umpires haven't seen him get thrown to the ground. He retaliates and he gets the free kick to Connor Jervis. You've got to just say, all right, throw me to the ground. I might get you back later if I get the chance. Fairly, right? But you can't retaliate straight away. He's too experienced for that, and he's got to use his brains a little bit more because it almost resulted in another Bannockburn goal. I think both Battaglias at the bottom of the pack, they've been pretty good. The conditions really suit those blokes. I haven't heard Reece Gin called.
No.
And I've been looking for him and I can't find him. When you said who's going to replace Kunchka in the ruck if he gets tired, I thought Gin would be the one, but I can't see him anywhere out there.
He's definitely there.
Well, I know he's there, and I know Jack Filett's there too, but we haven't called Jack that much either. I think the ball's either going bouncing in front of him or going over his head, but, you know, Beard's still a couple of nice things. Jervis, again, he'll always give you a good game. Very, very close game. I think it'll stay that way because of the conditions for the game. Who's going to win? I got no idea because that was a real tough. Well, look, it wasn't great footy. We're not going to dress it up as great footy because you just can't do that in these wet weather conditions. But by geez, they're going in hard as we would expect on an Anzac day, and I think that'll continue for 3 more quarters.
Yeah, as I said, it's just a day where you take that ground. If you can get an extra 10 just by a simple boot off the ground and keep the ball flowing, I think that'll be the way to go. A couple of blokes that Joel Devlin, I thought he's been...
A couple of things,
yeah. Just did some nice things. He's got a good size about him when he comes to the boundary line in front of us here. I thought he's been okay. As I said, there's... They spoke about this Jaden Reed. He, just when he goes to the ball, he does have sure hands. So I think, again, people like that, and also Aaron Seller is the other bloke that's just got those little bit of nous about him because you know they played that probably better grade of football and able to steady themselves when they're in a bit of pressure.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's hard for them to stand out in the conditions like this.
Oh yeah, there won't be a standout today.
You get a dry day, and these blokes. I think Reed's got a certain presence. You watch him go to the footy, you think you're going to get this. But because of the weather, he doesn't get it all the time today.
Grub, I think he started up really well early in that quarter that Inverleigh were overusing the ball, and I think they actually learnt pretty early on, and it looked like towards the end of that quarter, Bannockburn started overusing the ball. I thought Noah Steskov, he was unreal in the wet. He's got clean hands, and I think it's going to be about taking the opportunities today because you're not going to get too many. So when you go inside 50, you've got to make sure that you find the option and don't overuse the football.
Yes, well, as I said, now with both sides...
Grundle.
Both sides setting towards the respective positions. Looks like Reece Gin might be playing down back. And it's going to be an interesting contest, we said, with both sides just trying to get themselves up and going. As we said, it's important that every opportunity they do take in front of goal, they make the most of it here this afternoon. But just now waiting for the...
See what he said?
Yeah, something about looking after me.
Looking after the old fella, he said.
Yeah, no.
And I totally agree with him.
Yeah, no. We're not getting any younger, Grub.
No, you're not.
No. So we just have to put up with that sort of stuff these days. As long as I keep waking up every morning, that's all I worry about.
So. See, I'm lucky because I don't look that old.
Oh, yeah. You keep telling yourself that. Umpire has the ball in hand, and just about all spectators have left the ground.
I think they're doing a pretty good job too. They're always hard to umpire in these conditions.
Usually by this stage we would have had a comment off camera between the two of us, but I think they haven't even looked at you today. So
no, I think they've been very, very good.
Yeah, no, we'll give them credit out there. It won't be an easy condition to do that this afternoon, as I said, with the way the ball is being played. Still something just back here that's not quite right, so we'll get that done. Umpire now just about ready to start the second quarter here. Kunchka again starting. Reece Ginn looks like he's playing in defence, and he's lining up on Mason Dixon. He described himself as a ruckman backman, so that's what they've done this afternoon. The ball from that ruck contest goes towards Mayburn. He can't get it out. Picked up by Condy, tackled very nicely there by Lear. Oh, gee, I'm not too sure they had any opportunity there to get rid of the ball.
They always play that when you pin one arm and can't get it, because you just can't. You can't make an attempt because you're caught.
Was there any prior though? The ball go from Lear, goes back into their forward line. Kelly over the top, can't take the mark, comes down. Grosdanovsky tries to force his way through the contest. Kicked off the ground, goes back to the middle of the ground, coming through. Inverleigh, they work the ball. Little tap forward, but it hasn't got him a little bit of ground. But Condy had it, he lost it. Picked up out there again. Devlin, I think it was, put boot the ball. Kelly goes back and gets it. Handballs up over the top into free space. Coming the other way, and it was tapped out wide. Goes towards Fletcher. He picks the ball up, kicks round the body, goes back towards Mayburn, stands under it. Good spoil from behind. Going now is picked up there was Harding. Got the hand out to Battaglia. He can't pick the ball up either. Going now, Davey Peel's got trying to pick the ball up. He's brought the ground with the ball. Umpire this time will come in and he will hold things up and have a throw in just inside Bannockburn's forward 50. So ball thrown up again. Kelly doing the ruck work down there. Wilson took the ball out of the contest. He lost it. Good quick hands. Goes towards Love. Ball comes back towards centre wing. There's Reece Ginn. This time Grubby went after the ball. Hasn't picked it up yet. Got the ball out. Goes back towards Young. Little kick off the ground. I think in these conditions is well worth the attempt to do. Picked up by Mason Dixon. He's on hands and knees. And umpire again will come in. And another ball up will take place. Centre wing, far side of the ground. So the ball with the umpire. Kunchka and Wilson to go at it once again. Wilson up over the top as he does and does nicely. Taps it out wide. But unfortunately it goes back over the boundary line. So this time the ball will be thrown back into the field of play. That's as still as it ever want to be right now.
Yeah.
Opportunity to take advantage. One of these clubs can get a couple on the board. But again, as we said, still pretty slippery out there underfoot. Thrown back in. Wilson again, front position. He takes it out of the contest. Went over the top. I think he went looking for Collins. Picked up there by Marnie. Tried to feed the ball out. Tackled by McIntosh. Ball now at ground level. The players picked the ball up. Was Jervis. Kicked round the body back towards centre wing. Battaglia playing in front. Doesn't take the mark, but is able to go back and collect it. Kicks the ball back into their half forward line. Kelly comes out to take the ball. A little bit of time and space. And the umpire says he's
not a run out of bounds
line. And there will be a throw in on the far side of the ground. So we ticked over 2.5 minutes in this second quarter. Elders Insurance scoreboard. It is Bannockburn 2-4. Inverleigh 2 straight goals.
So we'll have a ball in now. Boundary umpire will come right in to make sure she gets the distance. Nothing wrong with that. Zach Kunchka has been playing predominantly ruck today against Wilson. Wilson has been dominant in the ruck in past years. Over the back now. Bannockburn win the ball. Oh, it was a great spin move on that occasion by Lear as it goes inside the forward 50. Coming the other way was Miles. He kicks to centre wing. Over the top, and a good mark was taken by Reece Ginn.
There he comes into his own.
There's his name as he handballs out wide now. I think that's Young. Down that line to the tip of the 50. Push, it might have been by Bailey Kelly as the ball comes out now. Right foot flying shot to check side.
He's touched it.
Through.
He's
It's
touched
touched
it.
on the line. It would have been a contender for Connectel goal today, but instead it was good by the Inverleigh defence to get it hand at.
We might give it the point of the day, Arch.
Yeah, it might be the point of the day as Inverleigh will return the ball now. Just
I
seems
didn't
like the
think he got
skills
hand
are
on it.
getting a little bit better as the conditions seem to dry up. As the ball back in the centre of the ground now. Bannockburn are going to win it again. Go out wide. They've got some space here. Here goes Battaglia. Comes back in over the top. And Inverleigh will win the ball now. They'll go the other way. That was Condy. He finds a man open, although it was a good tackle. Meehan was involved as well. I think Dixon Dixon comes back now, and Bannockburn, free-flowing football as he's missed the target. It's going to be a turnover at the top of the 50. It's free-flowing footy at the moment. There's players out everywhere.
Condi
in the middle of the ground. Kick wasn't up to par as it was well gathered by Dixon, then hands off. Now coming the other way. Is close in, gets run down. It might be holding the ball.
Holding the ball.
Good work in return by Bannockburn. It's 2-5-17 to 2 goals straight. Inverleigh, 4 minutes 50 gone.
Seller across the ground finds Edwards in space by himself. Not much gained ground there, but they still maintain possession now. Edwards kicks the ball down the line, goes back towards Kunska, up, can't take the mark. Picked off the contest there, kicked back by Marr, goes back to the forward line, coming across. Mason Dixon can't take the mark. Bell calls out of the contest into the hands of Seller. Gee, I'll tell you what's a well-weighted kick and finds Lear just inside the field of play. Next kick forward is all numbers back there, all with Inverleigh. So in front, the mark is going to be taken there by Marr. No, it was stolen by Perkins. Kicks back into the forward line. Filer is there. Ball gets out the back. Kelly has it. He is tackled. Got the handball outside to Wilson. Back inside to Harding. Harding around the body. And he has got his second of the afternoon. Brody Harding. Bannockburn now have their third. They are 3-5. They lead Inverleigh 2 straight goals. We have ticked over 5 minutes 40. It is the Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
Well, I tell you what, they just had that one-upmanship, didn't they? That one extra bloke coming into the forward line. I don't know where the extra Inverleigh defender was, but it just gave him the chance to go from A to B to C. But that handball coming out of there, one was from Fletcher Wilson, and the other one I know was the one too.
Kelly.
And Kelly, yeah. They were just really good handballs. Sometimes it's hard to kick the footy in the wet, but I reckon you can handball well in the wet. And if you handball like that, there's a goal to Bannockburn and a real handy one too, because they haven't kicked one for a while.
So back in the middle we go once again. This time Kunska up over the top. Read well there by Condi on the right boot. Goes out wide, looking for his teammate out there. Mark, good hands out there. So not too sure that player is out there, but a kick comes back inside. Don't think that was that great. Henderson couldn't take the mark. Ball at ground level now. Picked up and handball comes back outside. Picked up nicely there by Viney. Got through the contest. Looks up. Goes towards goal. Tries to bring it back, but won't bring it back far enough. And through for a minor score. 2-1 now Inverleigh. 3-5 to Bannockburn. And we've just gone over almost 7 minutes in this second quarter.
Brought to you by Elders Insurance. The second quarter is...
What about Jared Bacon, Smithy?
They'll go out wide now to the contest. It was just off hands by Reece Ginn. He's starting to come into the game now in this second quarter as we'll have a ball in on the outer side, 70 metres out. Have it back in now. Conditions starting to clear up. Starting to get easier to play free-flowing football. It'll be Kunchka against Wilson, as it has been all day. Wilson won the tap down. Good handball out. Inverleigh go into their forward 50. Is there going to be a mark taken? No, coming back and couldn't gather the ball. It was Reece Ginn as well. He's really starting to come into the game, boys, in this second quarter after you gave him a bit of a rev-up, Grub.
Well, I didn't give him a rev-up. I just... didn't hear his name called, but because playing down the back line, you don't have to get a lot of touches. You got to stop the bloke you're on. But yeah, he's got to the ball a few times. Still yet to do a couple of really nice things, but I think he will.
Ball in now, 25 metres out from the Inverleigh goal. Front spot was Kuntra trying to gather the ball. Now does gather it. Couldn't quite lay boot on ball. Coming through and Samuel's a good tackle in defence. The umpire says holding the ball. Nearly out there and had a shot. On goal, Bannockburn, or Inverleigh, but it was a good tackle in defence.
Bowie Collins, was it?
Yep.
He tried everything he could.
Now they'll go along to the outer side. Front spot, Mark was taken out of his hands now. Big pack of players here. Could throw a blanket over 15 of them. Handball out. Now they're going to go inside 50 Inverleigh, and it's going to be a mark taken by Casey Meehan. 45 metres out on a slight angle. Has he got the distance here, gents?
Oh, no doubt. Distance is not a problem.
He might lose a couple of yards with a wet Sharon.
Well, I'll put it this way. If he doesn't make the distance, he hasn't kicked it properly because the distance has got no worries for him from here.
45 metres out to kick Inverleigh's third goal of the day. Casey Meehan Low, hard, and he's kicked the goal. Distance wasn't a problem at all, Grub.
No, it never was.
So he kicks their third, 3-5-23 to 3-1-19. 9 minutes 25 gone on the Elders Insurance scoreboard.
Look, I know it's pretty bloody easy for me to sit here and say it, but when you got Casey Moon just standing there in the forward line, you cannot play him from behind. Right? In a day like today when the ball's getting kicked short, at least you can play him from the front, at least play him from the side. But if you play him from behind and that happens, there is no chance in the world of stopping him marking that. So you've got to move to his side or even play in front because there'll be players behind you if it goes over your head. But very experienced.
Yeah, back in the middle we go once again. Nice work there from Wilson. Ball comes out to Haberfield. Got the handball outside to Collins. Collins just off the ground. Puts it into their half-forward line. Love tried to do the same thing. Ball at ground level now. Marnie, nice clean pick-up. Handball goes out to Bath. It was Reece Ginn again. Picked up again this time. Round the body by Reed of Inverleigh. Goes back towards the pocket. I reckon he'll have a bit of carry towards the boundary line, and that's where it's going to end up. Over, and a throw-in will take place about 25 around from the behind post. Inverleigh back into attack.
No wonder he wasn't called much in the first quarter. He probably got 15 touches and you're calling him somebody else.
Well, a fair chance. I'm not going to deny it. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Kunchka ruck contest. Ball comes out, goes towards Marty once again. Ginn tried to get it out. Again, it was cleaned up and kicked back into their forward line by Bacon. Mark not taken down there, so ball now at ground level. Ball runs back towards their goal. It was picked up out there. Love had it. He lost it. So again, it's ball that's in dispute. Ryan Bowden, he can't get clean pick up. Ball now goes back towards the boundary line and runs over. And again, the same process as before. A throw-in to take place. This time 10 metres around. Ray Mayborn a bit slow getting up off the ground there.
I might have to get binoculars out. You're going to cost him the Hotham Hotel dinner for two.
So Casey Mean doing the ruck work down there. Kunchka. So ball thrown back in by the umpire once again. Kunchka front position, taps it back to the front of the contest. Henderson went after it. Handballs the ball out, picks up by Mayborn. He goes back outside.
Look out, what's the umpire going to say?
I
knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to do that. He's a really good umpire, this bloke, but in this wet, you don't pay that.
Miles goes quickly back into their forward line. Ball at the back, good Kong hands, and the mark has been taken down there. And I think that might be Reed once again, is it? He's shown a little bit of class out there this afternoon.
Well, talking about class, Geelong District Football League players haven't got the class that the AFL have. They do it on purpose. I don't know whether that's done on purpose. So that's just kicking it out of defence.
Yep.
You know, it could have gone anywhere. It's just too harsh on our standard of play.
They are getting harsher on the.
I'll give the umpire his due. He probably got it right, but in our league, I'm not so sure.
Jaden Reed in from about 30 out, and that is as straight as you'll ever want to see him. And Inverleigh take the lead. They move to 4-1, Bannockburn to 3-5, and we have gone just over 12 and a half minutes. Elders Insurance a second quarter scoreboard.
Well, Grub, you talked about taking your chances earlier. I mean, 4-1 is it? Inverleigh now to 3-5, so you can see that Inverleigh, by taking their chances, keeping themselves right in this game.
Well, they can too, and if you don't mind, I might do a bit of ball by ball in a minute, because if you're going to take my job, I'll bloody well take yours. What's he up to, Smithy? Who is this bloke?
He's up and about, isn't he?
Tell you what, he has got that presence, Reed, hasn't he? Like, that's a wet ball and everything, and he's just gone bang. He kicked that like a dry day.
So back in the middle we go once again, this time over the top. It looks like Warren's gone in to do some ruck work. Jervis picks the ball up, little boot to ball, gains 15 metres. Mark, good, strong out there.
It was a good
and I can't see who it is on the ground, but it's Davey Peel, and he will be the recipient. So David Peel will now decide to go a little bit longer, goes back towards their centre forward position, out the back. Reece Ginn can't take the mark. Bowden couldn't handle the ball. Picked up out there by Young. There's a free kick being given. And it's going to go to Inverleigh, and it's going to go to Heenan. And again, ball quickly back into their forward line, out in the front, and Snezkov comes out and takes the mark in the pocket. So his first real look at the goals, and from the boundary line, distance again won't be any problem. And he's going to do what most of these blokes do these days. Oh, no, he's not. Thought he's going to go around the body, but he's going back to the drop punt.
What's he, left footer?
No.
I think he might be, because he had this kick in front of us before, which he hit lace out left foot.
I did see that, but you can't go around the body if you're a right footer.
No. he's a right footer. So he steps in, kicks at goal, and put it straight through the middle.
Umpire never moved.
No, never blinked. And they kicked their 5th goal of the game. They moved to 5-1. They lead Bannockburn on 3-5. And Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
Again, just first to the ball, get it down your forward line, keep it down there, kick a goal. And I tell you what, from there, that was a magnificent kick. That was an absolutely amazing. Whose goal of the day did you say? Who's the goal of the day for Dave?
Goal of the day. So for who is the sponsor?
Yeah.
Connectel.
Well, I reckon that's a shot for you. Want all these big running goals and that, but to get there on that bandwidth line and go bang like that was a beautiful, beautiful goal.
So we go back in the middle now. One that time was Kunschia. Running through was Henderson for Bannockburn, although the ball is taken back by Viney, trying to find the target and couldn't quite. It's 1v2 there. Well gathered in defence there was Closey as the ball comes off the side of his boot. And is that an insufficient attempt? No, the umpire says it was a skill error. So
It's called a shank.
I tell you what, if he had a pay delivery of that one, I was going home. But he'd never make that mistake. I got to say, as I said before, he's probably got it right, the other one. But, gee, it's tough for their boys.
25 metres out from Inverleigh's goal. They're pressing hard here. So they're going to win the ball again. Great tackle coming the other way. Did he go along with it, though? No, it was a good tackle, and the umpire agreed. Aaron Sella is going to be the recipient of the free kick. And he left the Inverleigh player in Jaden Reed a little bit sore. He's going to come out to centre wing here. Here goes Perkins. He just well weighted. Gathers the ball. It was a good mark in the end. He might have to go long down that line here. He doesn't have too many short leads. He does over the top and a big fist. Was Ma.
He looks different out of a bell post hill jumper, doesn't he?
He does. He looks taller for me.
And I think he's actually a bit thinner too.
Yeah.
We had a gold fist of the day. That'd go to Daniel Ma right there. So comes back in. Kunschka in the ruck down to Jervies. Well roved to inside 50 now. Perkins trying to gather the ball, and also Bailey Kelly was there, but it beats both of them. So we're going to have a ball in 50 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. They probably need a steadier here after Inverleigh have kicked the last 2 goals and just look to have the edge on them at the moment. Winning the ball around the contest. Ball in now. 50 out. Well gathered. Handball out now. It's going to go to Beardsall. He's going to try and find a target inside that forward 50. Perkins was there, but the ball gets punched away. So 3-5-23 Bannockburn to 5-1-31 Inverleigh. 17 minutes gone in this second quarter, brought to you by Elders Insurance.
So ball will be thrown back in now, about 10 metres around from the behind post. Thrown back in by the umpire again. Kelly doing the ruck work, pushes his opponent out of the contest there, and that was Warren. Ball comes out the back, and not too sure Henderson, is it? No.
He's going to pay this, aren't they? Kelly, he got a way of doing the hard stuff, nudged his player off the ball, and then bloody well dropped it. He missed the easy bit. That could have been a goal.
Yep, so again, ball thrown up quickly by the umpire. This time a good strong punch from that contest. Goes out towards Peel. He couldn't pick the ball up into the hands of Condi. Again, having the same difficulty, but gets it up into the hands of Filet. Round the body he goes. Nice kick, and Viney takes the mark. Josh Viney, outside defensive 50 now, has the ball and can steady things down. Decides to go a little bit longer now, goes towards centre wing and just a bit deeper. Reece Gin's there, but the ball comes out the back, picked up by Bowden. He goes back towards the middle of the ground. Mark out there, not taken. Ball comes to ground, picked up out there by Devlin. Into the hands now, and kicked forward by Beardsall. Goes across the ground. Good strong spoil again. Goes forward. Peel has got himself forward of the contest. He picks the ball up, goes long into the forward line. Mark again not taken. This time there's a free kick being given. Umpire said it's being played on, and it's going to go out to Young. Young has a player wider inside defensive 50. Mark has been taken. I reckon that may be Edwards out there. He comes back inside. Kick, it's dangerous in these conditions, but they're been able to manage it so far. Young goes back into the middle of the ground. Perkins, probably good ball movement. They're taking a fair few risks. Perkins off a step, wants to go out wide, and Condi did that very nicely. He's got 2-on-1 here, picked up by Kunschka, looks up, goes towards Kelly. Now the numbers with Inverleigh. Grozdanovsky slides through,
mark.
And he takes a good strong mark to relieve some pressure for Inverleigh. Was going to go and transfer play, asked to play on now, comes sideways. Bowie Collins has on the half-back line. has some shorter options if he wants to use them. Lukey Wilson's still there if he just stays, but he decides he's going to go a little bit longer. Goes towards centre wing. Sellers taps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Picked up again. Beardsall. Handballs back inside. This could be dangerous. Battaglia on the right boot. Can he bring it back? No, he won't.
Hasn't.
And he has missed it through for A- score. Has 2 for the afternoon. Singles I'm talking. And now Bannockburn 3 goals 6. Inverleigh 5-1. We have gone 19, almost 20 minutes. Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
It's a terrible mistake. They really, really, really needed that. And he just missed it. He should have kicked that with his experience. He should have kicked it.
They return now. Use Warren on the outer side as ball was dropped. It was retained though. They're going to go through the wing. It was a good kick, so it made up for the blue. Going to take their time here is get players down the field. They've got an open player in the middle being Bo Collins. They're not going to use him. They're going to keep going down that line, and then the kick wasn't up to par, and it goes out of bounds. So I have a throw-in on the outer side. Tell you what, Grub, that mark in D50 before by the Inverleigh defender, that mark like that could be the Routley's player mark of the day.
Well, it could be, but you'll have to explain to me what the hell is D50?
Defensive 50.
Okay.
So they come back in now. Kunchki gets pushed out of the way, probably a bit soft to go down as the ball win back. It was Bo Collins who got the ball inside 50. Oh, and then well done, the little shake and bake and shot towards goal, and he's kicked it. It was Ethan Colosi. Sold the candy, got through the tackle. Wasn't the prettiest looking kick, but that could be the connect-tail goal of the day.
Well, on
3-6-24, Bannockburn to 5-1, 6-1-37 now, Inverleigh. 24 minutes gone on the Elders Insurance scoreboard.
it's a couple of goal turnaround, isn't it? Like,
yep.
You get young Battaglia or old Battaglia, experienced player running and missing that goal, and all of a sudden you get, I think it was Chloe Hesse, wasn't it?
Yep.
And I thought it was Bacon the way he was saying it, shaking Bacon. I thought, well, it might be Jared Bacon kicking it, but it wasn't. But it was a mongrel old kick, but that's all you need to do. Get it through those two big sticks. They're inching away here, the Gawks.
So they're back in the middle of the ground. Wilson going up over the top. Went towards Jervy's got the handball out the back. Good hands into the hands of Edwards. Goes back towards centre forward. Dan Gros there. Can't take the mark. There's the free kick being given. Chop of the arm. So Dan Gros will be the recipient of the free kick. So he's got the ball at centre half back. Has options wide. Got Bowie Collins. He hasn't looked this way yet, but decides to go a little bit shorter. And that kick was okay. Went through the hands. Picked up there by Jervy's. Got the handball out towards Mayburn.
Superman dive.
Goes out towards Marnie. Marnie said there was a throw, and the ball is going to go back to Viney this time. So again, Inverleigh, another opportunity to go forward. Long kick forward. Snedgekoff's there. Dixon out the back. Ball got through the back of the contest and will be kicked through for a minus score.
I think someone like Jervy's been their captain. I think you just probably not go for the dive on that occasion. Maybe focus on winning the hard ball.
If it was that much of a dive, you'd never fool an umpire with that.
So the ball now brought back in from the full-back position. That's a nice kick, and Kunchka takes the mark, half-back line, little chip forward. Kick has to be good and was. Marnie slips in and takes it. Got opponents further down the field, but again...
Is that taken by Condi. He's going to try and find that man down the line, and he does the great, well-weighted kick. They're going to have a shot here in Inverleigh, and they're dominating for the moment. This is going to be Mason Dixon.
Big kick, Mason Dixon.
Mason Dixon, 55 out, you'd say, and a tough angle against the boundary. Inverleigh have just dominated this second quarter, brought to you by Elders Insurance, to extend their lead. He's taking his full 30. Dixon now. It's not a bad looking kick. It's going to be, is there a free kick in the forward pocket? No, the umpire's going to say one behind. So 3-6-24 to 6-3-39. 24 minutes gone in this second quarter, brought to you by Elders. As Bannockburn bring it back in now. Jervies with the kick-out responsibilities on that occasion. It was nearly a good mark by Kelly. Couldn't quite, though. Inverleigh back inside. A good body work, although the umpire said he nudged him in the back. Jervies, we do know he likes to go down a little bit easy. As he'll just send it back down that line. Wilson's there over the top. Oh, nearly. Wilson now inside 50. They're going again here, Inverleigh. Can they find a three-man tackle? It might be holding the ball. Dixon couldn't quite get through. And it's going to be He might have.
He doesn't make many mistakes, Chris Jones, but he just has.
Did he follow through the tackle? Got him a bit high, or?
I think he said that hold after the ball.
Yeah, he took 2 steps, got caught with the ball, and that should have been the free kick there.
Sometimes it's a bit rough when you do follow through the tackle. The ball does pop out, and you're not quite sure. But he's got another opportunity here, Mason Dixon. This shot's substantially easier, 40 metres out. Not too much angle about it. Kick their 7th goal. They'll run a 4 goals straight. Mason Dixon. It looks all right. It holds its line. And Inverleigh are up and about here. 3-6-24 to 7-3-45. 25 minutes go on in the second quarter. Brought to you by Elders Insurance.
Gee, I didn't pick that coming, you know. I thought Bannockburn had control of most of the play, but this quarter they can hardly get it down on the forward line, and when they get it down there, it comes straight back out. Inverleigh have actually lifted their game 120%, and I know it's early. They look the winners playing football like this, but you can see Bannockburn, they will come back. And Mason Dixon, from that first year we saw him, kicked about 1 goal 68. He's actually kicking the football really, really well now. And that was a beautiful kick by the boy.
So Maybaum's in doing the ruck work now. Over the top, Wilson again leans in. Marnie takes it out of the contest, kicks back to their half-forward line. In front, the Devlin it was, can't take the ball. Clean possession, one out there, and it's worked through the contest was Bacon, but he was tackled. Umpire said he was had prior opportunity. Beardsall takes the ball and goes out wide. Kelly made some space out there. Probably the long route to goal, but they've got possession of it inside 50. Too far out to score. Lukey Wilson, not too sure where he's trying to go there, but ball wasn't great. Goes back towards Kelly. He's tackled, brought to ground. Umpire will come in this time, and we will have a ball up inside forward 50. About 30 out from the Bannockburn goal.
They're a little bit rattled.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
The pressure.
Travel along the ground 5 metres. No matter what part of the game you're in, you go back, take your time and kick it well.
So again, over the top, Wilson takes the ball out of the contest, comes out, goes back towards the boundary line and over. So we'll have a throw-in which will take place, I reckon, just inside the 50 arc.
I'm not going to say I called this scrub, but I did say that Inverleigh would come out victors today.
Yeah, always very, very dangerous to go the early crow too, son. Always very dangerous.
So the ball's thrown back in by the umpire. Wilson again takes the ruck contest. Yes, he was interfered, was a push, so he'll win a free kick. So Luke Wilson has been prominent in the second quarter, I would think. He's done some nice things around the ground. And from deep in defence, he's going to take some pressure off the Inverleigh side. He'll go back towards centre wing, although he's looking towards Jack Follett, but now he decides the better option is to go long. Not too sure that was best position for it, because it's straight into the hands of Aaron Seller. So Seller, just defensive side of centre wing, far side of the ground. He's now going to give Bannockburn an opportunity to go back the other way, and one before the siren would be very beneficial to him. But
you bet.
Yeah, he'd need to get something happening. So he goes back. Maybaum can't take the mark, and this time the ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have another throw-in, which will take place. And that is about 60 around from the Bannockburn goals.
Yeah, 27 and a half minutes in. I think he goes straight and long, Smitty.
Yep.
It's just too hard to get it round further from the boundary line at 60 out. If he goes straight and long, you're dead in front about 45 out. That's what I think he should have done.
So the ball now back with the umpire and it's thrown back in. Front position, Maybaum and Wilson done nicely. Ball from the contest, ends up in the hands of Battaglia. He goes out wide, running player. I reckon that might have been Beardsall, back towards the goal square. Fletcher Wilson held his ground very nicely. Harding is there underneath the contest. Ball is picked up, cleared away. I reckon that might have been by Miles. He goes back towards centre wing again. Moore gets over the back. Numbers are with Bannockburn, picked up by Bowden once again. Ryan goes back towards centre half forward. Not too sure he was looking for, but Bowie Collins stands his ground, says he's going to slow things down. Little short option, Billy Cations. He will use him, and he will hit the target. Cations had Condi wide, but again, I wouldn't be in too much hurry to remove it if I was them. Just maintain.
I hate to say this, but I didn't know Billy was playing either.
Didn't you? Yeah, he had a couple of early ones, but now...
Oh, costly penalty right on the stroke at half-time.
Ball obviously hadn't called play on, so 50 metres. Put him right on the 50-metre arc, but again, too much in the distance here for him to kick the distance. But he is a good user of the ball.
You have to wait.
Miles just runs beside him. He has got the distance in his leg. He goes long towards goal. It will be...
a goal, I think.
I think it will be. I think it has cleared the pack.
All right, what's going on here?
I'm not too
He
sure.
hasn't given him the all clear yet.
No.
He'll give him it in a minute, and I reckon you'll see the two fingers go up.
We're not going to be going to go to the... Oh, you can't
We're
ask the
going to the video.
Nah, you can't go to the kids on the boundary
He's got to
line.
back himself, doesn't he?
He's either the goal umpire.
It's the goal umpire.
Yeah, it's the goal
Stand
umpire.
right
It's got to be
there,
the goal umpire.
Did they touch it or did they not? If the goal umpire says...
Oh, he's kicked.
no.
I would have said that should have been a goal
Yeah.
myself. But anyway,
Same.
umpire standing right there. 7-4 now to Inverleigh. Bannockburn in quickly, got the ball going. Again, ball outside forward 50. And again, they've probably now would probably just want to shut up shop at 30 minutes into this second quarter. Not allow any more score from Inverleigh. Aaron Seller goes long back towards centre wing. Kelly up in front. Mark not taken. Picked up by Collins. Handballs back inside. Again, they go forward. This time the defensive mark has been taken by Ryan Bowden. Little short chip up over the top. Okay. Teammate out there is Edwards, and he can steady things down. So defensive side of centre wing. Kicks along the boundary line. We get a little bit deeper than centre wing, and it's going to be held up. No, Kelly comes in, picks the ball up. Eludes one, got the handball inside, put his teammate under a fair bit of pressure. He's tackled, no prior opportunity, and the umpire correctly comes in and will take possession of the ball.
I'm still stewing over that goal. What happened? I wonder what happened. Obviously, the field umpire thought from 40 metres away it was...
That he had a better view than the goal umpire,
Yeah,
5 metres out.
So Kuncha took the ball out of the ruck contest, gives it across there inside, and that was Beardsall. He goes long into their forward line, and the ball again over the boundary line. So we'll have another throw which will take place. And the siren has sounded here to end the first half.
Hang on. That can't happen either.
Well, they have the
You
umpires.
can't ring the siren when the ball's out of bounds because it's time off.
Oh, well, they've rang it. Everyone's on the ground, so it's going to be Bannockburn at half-time, 3 goals, 6, trailing Inverleigh 7-4. Goal kickers to this stage of the game, Brody Harding 2, Joel Devlin 1, and for Inverleigh, Mason Dixon and Casey Meehan, both with 2 each, 1 to Reed, Snezhkov and Cloesi. Take a short break, second quarter action not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Welcome back, as we said at half-time, a 22-point margin. Inverleigh leading at this stage of the game, and they were very, very good during that second quarter. They kicked 5 goals and really took control after Bannockburn looked like they had maintained control in the first quarter. So Bannockburn with some work to be done, and Grubby's just arrived back, so we'll get a bit of a update from him when he gets a chance to sit and relax. But the third quarter with the umpire now about to start and going back. I thought Kunchka may have gone forward as a marking option, but he stays in the ruck. Both ruckmen go out of the game. Wilson up over the top, goes to Viney. Ball comes out in the tackle, picked up there by Collins. Littlefoot goes forward again into the hands of Haberfield, I think it is. And he is tackled very quickly, brought to ground. No prior opportunity there. Umpire did nicely. And comes in, and ball up will take place. Ball thrown up again over the top. Goes towards Collins at ground level. He is tackled. Again, he can't force his way through. Having a crack to try and knock the ball out. But again, back to the umpire once again. Ball up. The ruckman at it. Kunchka this time front position. Wilson did that very nicely. Took the ball out of the contest. Kept the ball rolling forward. Goes into the hands now of Clohessy. He was tackled again. The ball is back on the ground. Just a slight drizzle now. We thought we got rid of most of it, but there's just a little bit coming across the ground.
A little bit to come as well.
So again, it's Mason Dixon doing the ruck work. Maybe had a little bit on it. Clohessy couldn't pick the ball up. Devlin did, had one go at it. Went back and tried to do it again, but then handed the ball over straight into the hands of Reed. He's tackled and brought to ground. So not a lot happening in this first minute of play. About the 5th ball up already. Someone just needs to lay the slipper, get the ball running. This time Kunchka out the back. Conti tried to do it, but the rebound comes back into the hands of Jervis. Barrels the ball forward, goes into their forward line. Ball out the back. Wilson is there. No, it's not. It's Harding. Ball at ground level. Picked up there by Marr. Goes inside. Filet. He might be in trouble, but he got the handball out. Goes to Wilson. Puts boot to ball back towards centre wing. Coming up, Clohessy couldn't pick the ball up. Marnie comes across. Got the handball back towards Young again. Little boot back into their forward line. Bounce didn't favour any, but Buck Jack Filet. He gets the handball over the top to Bowie Collins into the hands of Grozdanovsky. Over the top to Love. Nice little finger work back towards Bo Collins. Out towards Peel. Peel on the boot. Back into the middle of the ground. Coming forward was Edwards, couldn't trap it, picked up by Love, once again got boot to ball, runs into their half-forward line. Snezkov had the ball, tapped it and kept it alive, into back into the hands of Reed. Open goal square, Howlett bounce, it's not going to change course and runs through for the first score, I think. No, it didn't, it's either behind post, has been touched. We're going to have a throw-in which will take place right beside the behind post. Again, Inverleigh back in attack. Bannockburn with a slight bruise, I would think, during this third quarter, would need to make the most of it to get themselves close. Otherwise, you would think Inverleigh too strong in the end. Ball from that contest comes back. Devlin taps it over the top, back to Kunchka. Quick kick, goes to the half-back line. Coming through, Fletcher Wilson couldn't take the ball cleanly. Got the handball out. Bowie Collins on ground level. Kicked off the ground, but sitting back and wait. Dan Gros read that nicely in space by himself, and he will take the mark. So Grozdanovsky, centre wing, far side of the ground. A little bit of space now. Looks up. Good position out there. Mark is taken. Might be Bacon. Yum, yum, yum. Ball goes in, short. And coming up, the ball is in the hands now of Mason Dixon. Shouldn't excite myself like that, Grub. Makes me cough. So Mason Dixon, he thinks he can get the distance. I've got my doubts with the ball, although it should be a dry one just after half-time. So he can go back. He's done very nice today, Mason Dixon. 2 goals, 1 this afternoon. Could possibly make it 3 goals, 1. He's confident. Steps in now. Gets to 50 and over. Loads up. Will go to the top of the square. Mark required. Over the top, ball comes back down towards ground. Snezkov comes out, needs to pick the ball up, tap the ball forward, went towards Conti, has player out the back, go into Snezkov. He goes back towards the goal square and won't have the distance there. Gin couldn't pick the ball up, picked up Meehan, tried to feed the handball out. Again, now on hands and legs, the umpire again in quickly, and he will take possession of it once more. 4 minutes gone in this third quarter. It is 3-6 Bannockburn, 7-4 to the Inverleigh side.
Love the ball up again here. Meehan elects to go in the ruck. Tap down now. Bannockburn can't afford to give up another goal to Inverleigh here. They've been playing better in the rough conditions today as the ball's wrapped up 50 metres out. Connor Jervis makes sure that one's not getting out. And he's the one I'll be putting the microscope on. At a couple of moments he'd like to forget in that last quarter. Connor Jervis is the captain. He's got to lead his side here. Start winning more of the ball around the contest. The ball's back in now. inside the forward 50. Oh, well done from the Inverleigh player on that time. It was Love. Gets the ball out. It's in a dangerous spot. They might win the ball here. They do. Bannockburn. They're going to go forward. Probably don't overuse the ball and get it on the boot. Now they do. It's a barrel kick inside the forward 50. Now a foot race is on. Tracking back. It was Harding. Couldn't quite, though. It was well done by the Inverleigh defender, and he's happy to go for the deliberate. I don't think that rule's in play in the league, is it?
Yeah, it is in play.
It is?
If you're under no pressure, but he was under a stack of pressure, so I can't see anything wrong with that.
Violet who got that through. And he's going to go quickly. And the outer side as the rain gets a little bit heavier. It's a good kick. And then suddenly the pressure's relieved. And I think that's how Bannockburn are going to do it, boys. They're going to get the ball on the boot quickly and try and get him over the back. Because right now, Inverleigh look like they're better set up in front of the ball. As it's a big fist coming the other way. It was Reece Gin. The ball on the outer side is trying to win it back. Marnie was there, and Inverleigh might retain possession again. They've just been better inside the contest. It might come out to Snezkov here. It doesn't. It comes off the hands of Viney. And now over the top. They're going to go inside forward 50 again. Can they find a target? It bounces in front. Here's the dangerous man in Closey. Can he gather the ball? He can't. It gets in front. I think running for a dive there was Meehan. And it's going to be a ball in 20 metres out from Inverleigh's goal. And they're just looking to better around the contest here as rain seems to get a little bit heavier, and they've suited these conditions today. Ball back in. And they're rocked there, down. Bannockburn out. They might get an out kick here, and they do. This time it's Maben. He goes wide. Might get over the top of the kick. It doesn't. It was well defended by Inverleigh. Comes wide. Good contest now, and Inverleigh going to win it again here. Comes out to us, who's the man who's been in everything, which is Ethan Closey. He lays the tackle, though. Bannockburn do win the ball out. Now they've got some time here. They went through Petilia and just turned over the ball, and he had the options as Inverleigh will exit through defence now.
Grozanowski goes out wide. Mark not taken out there. Bacon drops the ball, goes back after it again. Had a little bit of time. Steadies up, goes into the centre wing position. Dixon couldn't pick it up on the half volley again. Numbers around the ball contest. Picked up Marnie, got the handball out. Have support there in the hands now of Jervis. He goes back towards centre half forward. Ball out the back. Who's there? Mar's going to be there. Harding's also there. Ball picked up again. Player went after the ball and was tackled strongly. And again, the umpire said that was okay.
Well, a good tackle, actually.
There's going to be a ball up which will take place.
Hard not to go high there, but he wrapped his arms around the body. He's a young fella, Harding. Good tackle.
So the ball thrown up again. This time Wilson taps the ball out. Went back into the hands now. Maybaum on the right boot. Goes back towards goal. And I think he has got the first goal of the third quarter. Bannockburn now 4-7. Trail Inverleigh 7 goals 4. P&R Foods, we have gone just over 7.5 minutes.
I was waiting for you to say, but you did say it first, didn't you?
P&R Foods.
You said it. What, don't change the sequence on me. I'm waiting for the air. I don't want to chop you off.
Sorry, mate.
Inverleigh might rue that. They've had 75% of the play, and Bannockburn have had it down there twice now this quarter. 2 barrels going down there, and that one was a good goal. It puts them back in it, but Inverleigh could have been further in front.
So ruck contest once again. Ball comes out. Over the top of the ball is Henderson. Players over the top of him. Ball won't come out of there. So the umpire will take repossession. Same position, set a circle. Kunzka up this time against the Rabbit, Warren. And the ball now takes out of the contest. Picked up by Leah. Goes into their forward line. Wilson, no it wasn't. It was Harding once again. He couldn't get to the fall of the ball. And it runs back over the boundary line. Another throw will take place. 10 metres around from the behind post. Bannockburn deep into attack once again. Another opportunity. Umpire, not too sure what they're waiting for, but positions themselves now. Thrown back in by the umpire. Again, comes to Kelly. Couldn't take the ball out of the contest. Fell over the contest to be exact, and it's going to be taken by Jervis. He's tackled. Umpire comes in, and he will take possession of it. Thought they may have given Reece Gin a bit of a run in the ruck just to open
I
things
thought
up.
he predominantly plays ruck.
Well, normally did, but a bit of a change here this afternoon. Again, Jervis tries to get through the contest, picked up out there. Stoney did nicely, hands the ball back to Filet. Filet brings the ball out of the defence.
Oh,
I was going to say it was definitely hold. We could see it from here, so the umpire wasn't going to miss that one. And the ball goes back to Peel. In between the back pocket and half back. Grandstand side. So Davey Peel now decides to go long back towards centre wing. Kunska in front, over the top.
He's got the push. I think he might have staged a little bit, but might have got a touch.
So it's going to come back to Kunska. No boot on. So he's just going to load up and go long back into their forward line. Perkins makes a good lead, but that's ignored. He's still in space by himself if he wants to go to him. Not too sure what he's going to do, but he just decides to go long back into the forward line. Numbers there with Inverleigh. Ball at the back of the contest. Again, picked up. Leah gets a boot, goes across the face of goal. Harding looks like he's going to lead in the race for the ball with the first one there. Can he pick the ball up inside the field of play? No, he can't as the ball goes over the boundary line. And we are going to have a throw in 20 metres around from the behind post. 10 minutes in. It is Bannockburn 4-7-31, Inverleigh 7-4-46. PNR third quarter scoreboard.
The idea was there. He just kicked a little bit hard.
Ball back in now, fighting for front position, the ruckman, and as well a tap down on that occasion by Warren. They might win the ball here though, Bannockburn, and get it out on the outer side. They got some space. Oh, it was a tough in and under gather, and the umpire says too high. So that's what you get for putting your head over the ball. You're going to be more likely to win the free kick. On that occasion it was Jared Love, who we know loves to go in and under and is one of the Inverleigh's more prominent players. They want to win this game. He'd have to keep playing well because they're all doing a good job right now at the moment. So go to near centre wing. Wasn't a great kick. Couple of the Crummers go there and they get the ball forward. Inverleigh just still pushing the ball forward. Bannockburn have the numbers, although it gets over the back. They gather now. They're going to go back to go forward. Can they find that outlet kick? And they do. So they're going to go through the middle here, through the corridor. On this occasion, it's Lear. Lear's going to spread wide. The kick's going to be good. It's not the best. It's over the head. Who's going to win this running race? One-on-one. He's got man out wide. Is it holding the ball? It is. A great tackle by Sharrock. He won the foot race. He didn't win the foot race, but did the kick. Oh, it's not his best kick. Gets scrubber off the ground. Jervis the other way. Just a bit of a mung going back. Now Inverleigh do have representation behind the ball. They're going to centre wing. Going to need another good effort here by Sharrock, and the ball is punched out of bounds right in front of us in the broadcast position. So it was a great tackle and effort there by Sharrock, but just wasn't his best kick, was it?
No, shocker. Absolute shocker. But if you're going to kick a shocker, today's the day for it because there's a lot of them doing it.
This ball, I've really felt like Connor Jervis has lifted in this last 10 minutes. He's the one they need to get going, win the ball around the contest, get more inside 50s and better entries as well as the ball's back in fighting for front position was Kunchka. Oh, might have been taken off the ball. Umpire says play on now. Inverleigh might go forward. Oh, he's taken the player on.
No, he hasn't. He only taken the one step.
That's all right. And the umpire, he's umpired well all day. It has to be said. There's a little bit of scruffle going on here.
Well, none of them like Connor Jervis too much. And now, oh no, he's lucky not to get a free there.
Now he's usually in the middle of that. Connor Jervis. And he's picked out a free kick. It's gonna go the way of Bannockburn. They're gonna. Oh, he's played on. He might get tackled. He does by Viney. He doesn't win the free kick though. Ball comes out to Bowden. Bowden down that line. He's given a free kick for descent, I think it is. So it's gonna go the way of Bannockburn. And it's going to be Perkins, the young star from Bannockburn, on the Falcons list. He's just in front of centre wing. He's going to try and drive it. It's a good-looking kick. Oh, no. Came off the hands, although it's thrown on the boot long by Melbourne. And it's going to be a behind. So 4-8. 32 to 7-4-46 in this third quarter. 13 minutes gone, brought to you by PNR Foods.
Ball back in quickly out towards centre wing, and again the ball goes from the contest over the boundary line. A throw in to take place.
I know it's hard. I know it's wet. But when you get a really, really nice kick like that delivered to you, you just got to hold them. You got to take them, wet or dry.
So the umpire about to restart play. Thrown back in now. Not a lot of depth there. Kunska read it nicely from the umpire. Goes outside to Jervis. Jervis back on the right boot. Goes back into their forward line. Mark not taken. Mayborn. The ball comes out. Kicked off the ground there by Bacon. He goes back towards Sinaweng now. It's going to be a races on. Out there is Sharrock. Also with him is Beardsall. Both players working hard to the ball. Kicked off the ground by Beardsall. Over the boundary line. Have a throw-in taking place on the far side. Oh, that can't be deliberate.
Oh, he has it, has he?
Yeah. That's a bit silly. But anyway, ball back in now. Goes towards Dixon. He's up and it takes a mark in front. And Mason Dixon now to deliver the ball towards centre forward. Vine is in there by himself, and that's the direction he goes across the ground. Dan Gross has pushed up from defence. Takes the mark. Gains a little bit of ground. Chips up over the top. Viney has taken the mark inside forward 50. So Josh Viney, an opportunity to go back and to put the responsive goal back in favour of Inverleigh. Not too sure. Has he kicked many times goals? Well, he was a backman at West, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. He is a good kick generally.
Yep.
Whether he's a good kick for goal, well, I reckon we're going to find out.
Very shortly.
If he can kick this in the wet from there, he's a magnificent kick.
Absolutely. So Josh Viney, and he's got one single behind for the afternoon so far. Steps in, kicks that goal. Definitely the distance is there. Accuracy is not. He has his second behind of the afternoon. Moves Inverleigh now to 7-5. 4 goals, 8 Bannockburn, and we have gone a 15.5. P&R Foods third quarter scoreboard.
Jervis had the kick out. Judy's on that time as the ball's going to go quickly down that outer side wing. Couldn't gather it and they just get it out. Is that going to be given deliberate? No, it's not, because he paid the last one, which was nearly the exact same. So they've got the ball quickly out, and I'm pretty sure that's why Jervis just grabbed the ball and got along with it quickly, because if they can get it out to centre wing on the outer side, they'll back themselves to win it around the contest. It's just when Inverleigh set up, they're struggling to get it out of the defences. Ball's back in now. Wilson and Kachanka goes out. Off the ground now any way they can. Bannockburn try and go forward. Hands off now. They might win the ball here, Bannockburn. Worried about the player and not the ball was Josh Viney, as the ball is somewhere under that pack, and we'll have a ball up 60 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. Rain, just some light rain at the moment. Wilson and Kachanka trying to fight for that front spot. Ball comes out now. Umpire's going to blow his whistle, although he put it back in his pocket. He's going to let the game play for a minute, and I don't mind that at all. He's given Holden the ball. He's found a free kick that I don't think anyone really saw, and it's going to go the way Talia. 60 metres out. He's got to find a target inside 50. He's got to go to the pocket. It's not a great kick, although nearly winning the ball was Melbourne. Does now when it gets parried over the boundary line. So 45 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. They're starting to win back some more possession now, and they probably need the next 1 or 2 grub.
Well, they've lifted again. Look, as I say, Inverleigh probably had the first little bit of the quarter themselves, but after Bannockburn have kicked that goal, they've broken even in possession, I reckon. So what they need now, obviously, to close the game up is a goal.
And now Bailey Kelly in the ruck for Bannockburn on that occasion. They're going to go back in through Battaglia. Up and under kick. It's not quite marked, although it nearly was, by his brother in Lockie Battaglia. Comes back to the middle of the ground, just over the cricket pitch, and they're going to go in quickly, just to the edge of 50, and Jervis has taken the mark.
That was great play by Bowden. A really good mark in wet conditions and a really good kick.
Lowered his eyes and went along with it. Now, he doesn't look too confident with the journey here, Connor Jervis. This would get them up and about. The skipper of Bannockburn to bring him right back in this game. He has a crack from 50. The line's all right. He goes to the tip of the goal square. Is it going to be punched over? And it is. So it's behind. A couple of the forwards, including Perkins, wasn't happy with Jervis on that occasion. So 4-9-33 to 7-5-47. 18 minutes gone. The third quarter brought to you by P&R Foods.
Well, I reckon that one was touched.
Peel gets the ball now, and he goes long. Outside 50, Gene gets the spoil on the contest, goes back towards Beardsall, got the handball away, went still looking for his teammate, unfortunately had to work for it. That was Young, picked the ball up, a little chip into the half-forward line. Bowie Collins is there, picks the ball up, got the handball out the back, and again back, I think it was Peel, had made some ground from that kick in position. Down the field it goes, Mark is taken out there, and Viney is a recipient.
No, he's going to pay the free kick. No, he's going to pay the free kick for
a 50 as well.
That's got to be if he had plenty of time in that, but was the push there?
Well, the thing is, he didn't use his hands. He used his body, which I really like.
Yep.
But unfortunately, I don't think the ball was within 5 metres. I think it was a touch early, and I'm going with the umpire on this one.
Righto.
He's bumped him out a little bit too early.
Joshy Kunchka, the bloke I reckon I should have gone forward after half-time to give him an option up there, a marking option, a good marking option. And he can go back now and have a look at goal.
Matter of fact, AFL umpires should take a leaf out of their book because they never pay that, and they bloody well should.
So Josh Kunchka comes in. Steadies himself, kicks long, but offline and through for a minor score. So had their opportunities at 4 goals 10, trailing Inverleigh on 7 goals 5, and we've ticked over 19, almost 20 minutes gone. P&R Foods third quarter scoreboard.
Well, they've had a couple extra shots, so I don't know if that means that much in today's game, but...
So go out now. That was through Jarvis Miles. He hits up his teammate on the defensive 50.
Jackie Violet.
Goes to centre wing. Over the top, good fist, although the ball comes down the middle. This is where they've been winning the ball in Inverleigh around the contest. It's a good tackle on that occasion by Reece Ginn, who's faded in out of the game. Bannockburn will be hoping he has more to say in this second half. Ball back in, over the top, Wilson, and also it was Ginn on that occasion who did really well. He's probably thinking about getting him in the ruck as the game moves forward, especially in that last quarter, boys, and maybe try Kachunka down forward.
Well, it all depends. I think Josh Kunchka's doing a fantastic job, and while he's doing that, you allow Reece Ginn to do his job down back. You only do it if Josh Kunchka's that bugger that he can't keep going.
Back in now, Wilson. The big fist seemed to do that a couple of times today. Probably had a fresh area though, and it was a good ball inside 50. They've got the numbers here in Inverleigh, although they might rove it. It's the free kick been paid out here. Which way is the umpire going to see it?
He's going to pay it Inverleigh, chopping the arms, which I couldn't quite see from him.
Inverleigh way, and Will Stoney tried to go along with it, but they're going to bring the ball back. So he wasn't the intended player for the free kick. And
no advantage?
No, it's going to come all the way back. So Bannockburn are going to have enough time to get some players behind the ball here. It's going to be Grozdanovsky. There's the ball, and Inverleigh will be happy just to chip it around here. That don't need to score, and in that last quarter they can make it a scrap, especially.
I don't know about that.
He's turned it around, turned it over, and
what a pass!
Battaglia
What a pass!
has passed it off the outside of
Beautiful
his boot.
pass.
Battaglia, and he's found the forward in Melbourne.
In Maybourne.
Maybourne.
That's him.
Now, he's a bit of a backman too, with a good kick, whether he's straight or not.
Well, he's found his
Did
way
Battaglia
down there.
mean that one, Smithy?
I think he did. I think he did. He did look up.
Bannockburn would love this goal to bring it back to 7 points from 45 out the kick. Looks straight through the middle. The Bannockburn locals will get up and about now. 5-10-40 to 7-5, 47, 22 minutes gone in the third quarter. Brought to you by P&R Foods.
Well, you reckon Battaglia meant that? I tell you what, if he meant that, I'm not here.
You go and look at the video.
I am not here.
You go and look at the video.
What are you doing? Banana check side, double reverse punt to get there. That was a lot of luck, but he did a lot of work to get to the footy.
He did.
But listen, seriously, that's the one they needed. Yep. Because if they couldn't get that, they can't get close enough to have a stab at it. So that's the one they really needed. Because you're saying that the Inverleigh are winning the ball around the packs. Bannockburn have started to do that now.
Yeah.
So Reece Ginn has gone into the middle. Ball comes out, goes towards Viney. Couldn't pick it up, but it goes to Collins. Collins puts the ball into their forward line. Dixon comes out, gets out the back to Young. Young now kicks the ball back towards centre wing. Leah leads in the race for the ball.
Boundary's going to beat him.
Just needed the bounce to favour them.
Yeah.
He's not going to putt.
Oh, my.
You blokes, I'm just about to let this bloke
No,
He's watching too much TV.
You really can't pay that one, mate. You cannot pay that one.
So Viney plays on, goes
crikey.
into the half-forward line, ball out the back. Where's it going to end up? Snezkov's over the top, out the back, picked up out there. I think that's Colliger on the left boot, goes out wide. Condi read that nicely coming out, couldn't take the mark, has some time, went back and collected it. He needed every bit of it because he struggled to pick the ball up. Goes back in the forward line. Dixon spins, turns, looks, goes inside. Bowden comes out, strong mark, takes it.
And
Great
50.
mark.
And 50.
Yep, the
They're hot
umpire
on the
paid
50.
that.
Hey,
as
Grubby
well.
picks him up pretty well, tied, doesn't he, eh? 50 all the way.
So Bowden now. He's got the ball back into the middle of the ground. No one standing the mark, so he can continue on. Runs, kicks long. Gee, that kick wasn't good. Thought he might have turned the ball over. Goes outside into the hands of Battaglia. Handballs over the top. Important touches. Goes to Jervis. Got some time. Looks up. Goes long. And
miss.
it's offline. Connor Jervis, 2 behinds. 5-11 now, Bannockburn. 7-5 to Inverleigh. And we have gone 24 minutes. P&R Foods, third quarter scoreboard.
They've definitely lifted. I tell you what, Tristan Battaglia is the one who's getting it done for them on the half-forward line. He's been that link kick that's finding their options inside the forward 50 for Bannockburners. Return now. They'll go out wide. It was probably taking the body, and it is. So the free kick will go the way of Bannockburn. It goes to Maybourne, who's going to go inside 50, trying to and finding Perkins, who was very good early in the game, it must be said. He faded a little bit out of it, but he's definitely got this kick in him.
Well, on a day like today when you're playing as a small forward, you will go out of the game for certain periods, but it's the ability to bounce back, and you'll find that this
he's
kid's
going to
got
go
that.
quickly now and find another target. Obviously wasn't
Fletcher
confident.
Wilson's
Bounces
dropped it.
off the chest of Fletcher Wilson. Now, Inverleigh might be able to come back now. They found it. Yeah, the pressure's going to be released. The free kick in the back 54 Inverleigh, and you just feel like Wilson should have taken that mark inside the forward 50 for Bannockburners.
Well, if it was a bucket of shit, it would have splattered all over him.
They're going to go wide now. Come through. Is Jervis taken? He is holding the ball. Wasn't quick enough on that occasion. Inverleigh going to be quick. They're going to wait for the player to get up, I think.
I don't think it was Jervis either, by the looks of it.
Oh, no, it might have been Reece Ginn.
Yeah.
Was taken, and he's going to look out in front of us in the broadcast position. True centre wing. They've got the numbers here in Inverleigh, but the ball's going to beat them all. So 5-11-41 Bannockburn to 7-5-47. It's turning into a real Anzac Day classic here. 25 minutes going in the third quarter of P&R Foods.
Opportunities, as we said, there's plenty of them here. Umpire's now just lining up where she needs to go. Wilson looks like he's doing the ruck work. Oh, yes, Reece Ginn is there, so I didn't see him before, but he looks like he's gone in. Kunchka's pushing forward. Ball thrown in. Wilson in front. Ball goes back towards the boundary. Baker is happy enough to let it go over the boundary line. And we will have another throw-in. Same position as last.
The intensity's gone up in the game here, Smithy.
So it just needs now some clearance work from either side. Give themselves an opportunity late in this third quarter. Ruckman go at it. Ball comes out the back. Bit of bacon space. Viney picks the ball up. Got boot the ball. Goes towards Snezhkov. Tried to tap it further afield. I'll tell you what, Reed did some nice body work as well. Bowie Collins puts his head over the contest again. Comes out the back towards McIntosh. He had it and lost it. Ball still at ground level. Ryan Bowden continues to chase the ball. Picked up. Kicked round the body. Bacon. I reckon that might be all right. And it's gone straight through. And it's a good, timely goal for Jared Bacon and Inverleigh. They move to 8-5. Bannockburn on 5-11. And P&R Foods, we have gone
goal of the day?
27 minutes.
Well, I don't know. I'll wait till Smithy finishes what he's saying before I say that, but that could well have been the Connect Our goal of the day from Jared Bacon. What a yummy goal.
Yum, yum, yum.
They just keep coming back. Bannockburn look like they start to get on top. Inverleigh bring it back the other way and get a goal. That's what great footy's all about from both sides. Now we need Bannockburn to get another one, and we just keep going back and forwards and have a magnificent game of footy. Even though the footy's not great because of the weather, I tell you what, I'd love to be out there.
As the ball's back in the middle now, one out by Wilson, and then he wins his own ball that he tapped, sends them forward. First of the ball was Bannockburn, although out the side there, they might win the ball back Inverleigh, and they do. Well done from Bannockburn. They're going to go the other way. Coming a good mark. So they're going to go inside the forward 50 here. Is the mark going to be taken this time? It is.
So you still take a good kick from there.
Too far out.
Yeah.
Bailey Kelly. He's 50 out. He doesn't look too confident. He's going to try and maybe get as much distance as he can and go long. It's the tip of the goal line. Is it? Oh, it's just faded wide. So might hit the post and another minor score. So 5-12-42 to 8-5-53. 28 minutes gone in this third quarter. There wouldn't be long to go. Inverleigh would be happy with this margin, this lead going into three-quarter times. A great mark overhead.
That's what Kuncha
by
has to go
Kuncha.
forward.
Yeah.
Back in now to Jervis. He's really lifted this quarter. He's got to find this leading kick. Got to put his team on his shoulders here. Puts it to the tip of the goal screen. Someone take a mark. Oh, no, it's fallen behind. And kick, snap. Is it a goal? It is! Deep in the pocket. And Harry Lear had a snap, and that could be a contender for the goal of the day by Connect Tal.
6-12 now to Bannockburn, 8-5 to Inverleigh. We come towards the three-quarter time break, and we said an important goal gets them back close now. So it's just a matter now of getting through to the three-quarter time break. It's only a 5-point margin.
Well, that's the one you want to get it within single figures, isn't it? To get it within inside a kick.
That's it.
To go into the last quarter.
Going there with a bit of confidence. Gin doing the ruck work now over the top. Has first go at it, maybe the second. Ball can't be cleared there by Henderson. Going back after it. Hands and levels, I reckon that might have been Haberfield. But again, ball not coming out. Umpire says, let's have it back. We'll try that all again. At least Gin, the last man off the ground. And ball thrown up very quickly by the umpire. Over the top, Wilson did nicely. Out the back, Marnie had possession of it, tackled as quickly as he had it. And the umpire again comes in and will take possession of the ball.
If they get it down quick and clean enough, they might even go in a point ahead, which would be unbelievable.
Yep, so the ball going back in the air very quickly again. Both ruckmen had a bit on it. Bowie Collins gets the ball out. Ooh, probably should have been a free kick. Emerging from the contest is Jervis, goes back into their half-forward line. Leah leads in the race for the ball, and the ball is going to go over the boundary line, I reckon, or is it being kept in?
No, it's kept in, but
it's been kept in.
That's what I was talking about last week. We could see here that he didn't get his foot to the ball, right?
Yep.
So it's holding the ball.
Yep.
But the umpire's behind him.
Yep.
He's not allowed to guess, so he's called play on and made the right decision.
Yep. Kunchka ruck work, ball comes out of that contest, goes back towards the boundary line. Jared Love happy enough to see the ball over the boundary line. And we go over 13 and a half minutes. Can't be too much longer, you would not think. The only chance possibly to Bannockburn if they can get clearance quickly. Ball thrown back in, Wilson front position, tried to take it out of the contest. Love had it and lost it. Kept running forward there. I reckon that was Warren. But he again can't clear the contest. And a number of players around it now.
There it is.
We'll see the umpire come in. So at three-quarter time, it'll be Bannockburn 6-12-48. They trail Inverleigh 8-5-53. Goal kickers at this stage of the game, Maybaum and Brody Harding, both with 2, 1 each to Devlin and Leah. And for Inverleigh, 2 each to Dixon and Meehan, 1 each to Reed, Snezhkov, Bacon and Cloesi. Take a short break, final quarter action. We're looking forward to it. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Up over the top from that contest. Bowie Collins tries to force his way through, gets in one side but can't get out the other. Umpire a repeat. This time Gin up early, went straight into the hands of Wilson, picked up by Love, got the handball outside, or went to give the handball. Again, I'm not too sure whether he had too much prior opportunity there. Umpire said that wasn't the case, and Reece Gin is going to be the recipient of the free kick. He goes short, lead up player, but Violet read that nicely, slides across and takes the mark. So Jack Violet, back pocket, options across the ground if he wants to come this way, but it'll be dangerous at this stage with a wet ball. He just goes straight down the line. Again, ball gets out the back, over the top, player sits, and umpire said there's no prior opportunity there, so a ball up. Still attacking side of centre wing for Bannockburn, and the ball from that ruck contest picked up. Strong tackle laid once again. Umpire, again, very quickly, which they've done nicely all day, in quickly to start the play. So we've gone just over 3 minutes, and scores are unchanged from the three-quarter time break.
Unchanged the scores as we come back in now, winning the ball out on the far side. Inverleigh is about 10 players over the ball at the moment, so we're going to have another stoppage. And I feel like every time the rain gets a little bit heavier, it's when Inverleigh have played their best. So they might suit this wet weather brand in the last quarter. Wilson, who's been pretty good in the ruck all day. It's been a good battle between him and Kunchka. His ball wide now as he had prior opportunity. He has. The umpire's been paying that quickly, and it's going to go the way of Inverleigh. Inverleigh on the outer side now. True centre wing. Going to go to the tip of the 50. Couple of players, good contest there. It was a good fist over the back by Boundon. Now, over the top, umpire keeps his whistle in his pocket. Now he'll blow it. So 75 metres out from the Inverleigh goal. And, gee, they'd love this first goal to stretch it out to an 11-point lead early in the last quarter. Back in now. Wilson, it was a good knee to Gin. He wins the ball for him. And then good smother coming the other way from Bannockburn. Battaglia was in and under. Gets the ball out now. Bannockburn, a couple of players over it. It was really well done in the end by Devlin. Ball squirts out wide. Jervies, with the poise, finds a teammate on that occasion in Kelly. Kelly up the ground further than he usually is. He's going to go for a run because there's no one on the mark and send it right to the 50 line. It gets over the back. Inverleigh are well represented with their numbers. They're going to use hands and go to a danger spot. It's an up and under kick. Who can get under that? Well roved, and then maybe it's a high contact it is. So the umpire was quick on that. In a good position to pay the free kick. Inverleigh just got numbers down the line, not interested in going for the switch in these wet conditions. So he's going to go back to the outside, true centre wing, and great kick. And so the ruckman in that occasion, Luke Wilson, did really well with the lead, although he was called to play on, so he got smothered. Ball was won, and it was actually well kept in. I think it was Beardsall, but it gets parried over the boundary line. So 6-12-48, Bannockburn to 8-5. 53 Inverleigh, 5 points the margin, and 5 minutes gone in this last
just
quarter.
Just a couple of scores. South Barwon 5-11-41, St Joey's 6-7-43, and Drysdale 9-15-69, Port Arlington 4-8-32.
So back in now, Wilson and Gin both couldn't get to the ball, but Wilson wins his own ball and then comes back out to this man who I think's been really good today in Closey. Handle wide now. It was well won by Salah. He goes forward. Is it a mark? It was. It was a good mark in defence. And he pulled him as well. Is he going to give the 50-metre penalty?
Now he might get it.
He still doesn't, the umpire.
I think the Bannockburn boy wants 50. The umpire said no.
So he'll take his time here in Inverleigh. Just going to assess the options here. They've been going to the same spot every time, just long down that line. Usually what you do in wet weather conditions. Bannockburn seem to have the numbers behind the ball here. It's going to approach Inverleigh's 50. It's in there now. It was well run out and then thrown on the boot. Jervies goes back. That was a good contest. Comes through now. It's a good tackle laid by Bannockburn, although the ball's kicked back the other way, back with the flight. Nearly a great mark taken by Jared Love, although Bannockburn on the outer side, they've got space here. They might send it inside forward 50, they do. It's going to the line, just over the top of Kunchka. As he comes back now, Inverleigh are going to win the ball, and they're going to get lucky in the middle. Couple of tap backs now. Jervies in and under, wins the ball. Battaglia, who can get under this? No one can. Comes back out. Jervies still chasing the ball. He gives a block, although it was a good tackle. Handball over the top. Jervy's still involved. He's been involved 3 or 4 times now. The flying shot at goal and marked on the goal line by Jack Violet.
Ball comes out wide, in place by himself. Viney got a nice bounce, picks the ball up, and he's confident enough to take a bounce. Take 1, takes 2, looks up, has a longer option. That kick was pretty poor, I think.
I can't believe
Has it gone a bounce on the full?
I can't believe that.
Did everything nicely. The second bounce probably wasn't called for, but ball back in the hands of Bannockburn now. So from the half-back line.
He relaxed and everything. He did everything right and buggered it up.
So Seller comes along the boundary line. Reece Ginn maybe just inside the field of play. Was it?
No, out. He hit it out of bounce, actually, not out the field. Got the first grab this side.
Dropped that can. Lucky the top wasn't off it. Don't go up and up just yet, mate. Let it sit for a while. Ball thrown back in now by the umpire. Reece Ginn doing ruck work in front. Wilson from behind. Kicked off the ground by Henderson. Into the hands of Condy. He puts the ball long. Back out to the boundary line.
Yeah, what's the umpire going to
do?
do?
This time, no, we can't. That definitely wasn't either.
Oh.
No.
You just don't know, do you?
No, you don't. You hold your breath.
Don't know.
You hold your breath, but that definitely, as I said, with the people around him.
Yeah, but so was the last one.
Yeah.
You know, and the one before that on the other side.
Must be having a party after we got the dumpling van, we got a Choco Coco, whatever that may be. Ball out the back. I might stay for the night. Ball kicked off the ground, goes back to Peel, positioned himself nicely, just picks it up and boots it back into their forward line. Dixon in front, ball comes out the back. Oh, I think Cajuns had it. McIntosh had it, lost it. Ball now back into the goal square. Picked up, Bannockburn don't want to concede. They go out wide. Again, this could be dangerous. Umpire, how we see this, sees it out there, goes running and out. Surely not. Oh, fair it.
Oh, he's paid it.
The ball's gone 50 metres around the line and it bounces over. I hate that decision. I wish they get rid of it in our contest. Ball goes back into the forward line and interception there from Ryan Perkins. Ball goes back over the boundary line, a throw-in to take place.
Tell you what, though, you are the biggest liar in Australia.
Yeah.
You might stay out and go at 8 o'clock. You'll be in your slippers and dressing gown, sound asleep on the couch with the footy going.
Won't be that late, mate. Dark at 7:30 these days, and well and truly black.
Ball, going to have it back in now. Inverleigh would love this first goal to extend their margin to 11 points. It's going to be the most important goal of the game. Thus far, as the ball's back in 30 metres out from Inverleigh's goal. Bannockburn win the ball on that occasion. Down the line is a good mark coming the other way. Oh no, it's dropped and Jervis gets the ball on the boot. Now it's a foot race. Who's got the legs? Coming back first is the Inverleigh defender. Gathers, tackled straight away. Did he get him in the back? Umpire says play on. That's Melbourne. Gets the ball. Maybourne. And he parries it out of bounds. It was a good contest from Maybourne to not give away the free kick as well. Not land in the opponent's back. And
who's that there? 48.
Edwards.
Okay.
Cooper Edwards.
That's the ball.
Oh, yep.
Around 60 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. So rain just eases for the moment. Back in Wilson, always front position, gets there, hits to advantage, although it was gathered by Bannockburn, and they're going to go the other way. A couple of players involved in that. One of them
too high.
Well, it was given too high, so Bannockburn are going to be given possession back here. They're going to look inside forward 50. Kunchka's down there if they want to go to him. He puts his hand up now. It's going to go in his direction. Is he going to fly? Here goes Kunchka. And just off his hands now. Comes to the back. Where's the Crummers? Comes through.
Kunchka!
Up and under. Kunchka kicks it. Bannockburn take the lead by a point. 7-12. 54 to 8-5. 53. 11 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. Brought to you by Morris Finance.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
See
the big men fly for the Routley's pie, and who picks it up on the ground? The second biggest bloke on the ground today. Done the roving magnificently. I think he's played a pretty good game, Kunchka, actually, against a quality ruckman. I think he's won the ruck. Not all the tap-outs, but around the ground he's been very good. And that's the goal that put him in front. But now they've got to be careful. They know that Inverleigh will be coming back. They've got to keep the pressure on in Bannockburn and keep the pressure on and keep going, because Inverleigh will come back and kick one and get back in front. They have to keep going.
So the ball back in the middle, as we said, over the top. Ginn gets the ball down, goes back towards their way, running onto it. Collegiate need to keep the ball in front. Did lose possession. Picked up by Sharrock. Puts the ball back into the middle of the ground. Coming across, yum. Bacon couldn't pick the ball up.
No.
Goes outside into the hands of Battaglia. He got some space. Looks up, goes forward, looking for Maybaum. He's out in front of Grozdanovsky. Grozdanovsky did nicely to get to the contest and force it over the boundary line. And we will have a throw in.
Are they just going a little bit too wide too often?
I think so.
I just think...
This stage of the game,
Yeah, I just think they've got...
dangerous.
Yeah, they've got the rub of the green. They're playing good footy. I still reckon they're going a touch wide.
That might be the bloke of the people leading up the ground too, Grub.
Well, yeah, but either way, I'm not saying if the kicking or the leading, but they've got to kick, lead straight and kick straight.
Yep, they're all back over the boundary line from that ruck contest.
And I tell you what, Ronnie's pulled a pretty good move, and you've been asking for it. Wilson's as tired as buggery, and young Reece Ginn, even though he's been playing, but he hasn't been jumping and playing in the ruck, and he's starting to get the better of Big Poodle.
So the ball now with the umpire once again to be thrown in right on the forward 50, thrown back in. Again, Wilson front position. Ginn makes it to his own, got there, went back and collected the ball, went past the ball actually, couldn't pick it up. Ball now back over the boundary line. There's a free kick. Who's it going to? I didn't see
Bannockburn here.
Reece Ginn, I'm not too sure.
It may have been a trip. It may have been a trip.
So Reece Ginn now has the ball. He decides to kick to a dangerous spot again. Kunska in there. Ball comes to ground. Player lies over the top. Gets the ball out. Went to Grozdanovski. Didn't take clean possession. Picked up. Maybaum. Free kick.
He went underneath him with his body, which I hate that decision. I got it right, but I hate that.
Jackie Filet with the recipient of the free kick. So right on the full-back line. Has the ball beside the behind post and will go out as deep as he can. Goes outside 50. Players out there. Oh, gee, that was an incorrect... Oh, that was... What do they call it? Bad
unreal attempt.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking for, but I said it was a bad one anyway. Goes back in towards Harding. Mark not taken at ground level. Goes in now. Battaglia at ground level. Picks the ball up. Handed it straight towards Wilson. His kick went as high as it did wide. Going out there is Colliger. One-on-one contest. Colliger goes after it. He's tackled. Brought to ground. Got the handball out. High.
Got round the neck.
Yeah, no, she's a bit lucky there.
He slipped as well, but that's you still got to have duty of care.
So young Nappies now kicks the ball and he goes long into their forward line. Battalia's in front. Don't think he's going to mark it ground level. He could be dangerous. There's Harding, right boot, kicks towards goal. Back to Filet's position himself, has it? No, it's not. I'm not too sure. It was back there deep in defence. Ball comes back out. Battaglia was going to go to Battaglia, but the ball over the boundary line, a throw in to take place. So it's now with the umpire, about 10 around from behind post. We've gone almost 15 minutes. 54 Bannockburn, 53 to Inverleigh.
It's turning into an Anzac Day classic here. Exactly what we wanted as the ball's back in now. 30 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. Trying to extend their lead. In and under. Oh, and getting the ball on the boot was well done on that occasion by Bo Collins. Although Perkins trying to get the ball. There's a couple of big hits here. How's the umpire going to adjudicate it? I think Josh Viney's involved, and there's an Inverleigh player on the ground.
Well, that's why Viney got involved.
There may be a report here. There is a yellow card given.
Might be Seller, is it?
Yeah.
Given Aaron Seller. So we hope that player from Inverleigh is all right. It's Jaden Reed who copped the hit. Aaron Seller will have a rest, so it might be the end of the day for him. 15 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, you can replace him though. I think he's got him off the ball.
I didn't even see it. I was actually watching the game, but I didn't even see him hitting.
I think he's got him behind the play off the ball. But I didn't see how. But it's obviously a report. The video picked that up.
Looks like Jaden Reed's going to be okay, which is the most important thing, that he's all right.
Well, Viney could have gone too. And probably Viney should have been sent off as well. I know it's retaliation, but that's the nature of the game. You can't come in and flatten somebody else.
And he goes on the line. Wilson's going to jump over the top. Gives it a fist. Ginn was there as well. Did he get the second grab? Umpire says play on. Probably a little bit unfairly. I thought he took that. Perkins in and under now. Doesn't quite go to the ball. Couple of players there. Gets the ball out now. In and under. It's a tough football to win at the moment. We're going to have a ball up. 75 metres out from the Inverleigh goal. 7-12-54 to 8-5-53. Bannockburn leading this Anzac Day clash by 1.16 minutes gone in the last quarter. Brought to you by Morris Finances. Wilson's up and under again.
I think I've sent the wrong bloke off.
He's played a pretty good last quarter. Comes out now with the numbers. Will Stoney's going to go the ball. He overruns it. Trunka comes through. Couldn't quite. Gets the ball. They're going to win it back here. Inverleigh down the line. And good mark coming the other way was Reece Ginn. He's had a couple of good moments in this last quarter. He's going to go central, which is a good idea in these conditions. Gets over the back of Devlin. And now they're going to win the ball in the middle of the ground. Here it comes out to Bailey Kelly. He's going to find a target out wide. It's Battaglia. Comes in the middle. He's going to
Great
find
kick.
a target. He does.
Great kick.
He lowered the eyes and he found Brody Harding, and he's no more than 35 metres out directly in front. 7:12.54, Bannockburn to 8:5.53, Inverleigh. This will put him 7 points up with probably 10-ish minutes to go. It goes without saying, boys, probably the biggest kick of the day.
Yeah, it's, well, until the next one. Missed it.
Just wide off the boot, and it's going to be a minor score, so it's going to make 7:13, 54, a little bit inaccurate today. Bannockburn at 8:5.53, 18 minutes gone in this last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
So Jack Follett now from the full-back position. He's going to look to go straight down the middle of the ground. Slipped as he was kicking it. Going to go towards Young. He overran it. Gets out the back. Wilson picks the ball up. Got the handball inside to Love. Love put the ball further out in front. Ends up in the hands of Gin. Picks the ball up. Got the handball away. And now it runs free. Picked up by Love once again. Handball goes back. They work the ball forward into the half-forward line. Peel out in some space by himself. Going back and doing some work there was Bowden. He will obviously try and see the ball over the boundary line. Does so. Ball is going to be thrown in. Half-forward line for the Inverleigh side. They're attacking into the ground. Gone over 18 and a half, almost 19 minutes gone, final quarter. Rain has just persisted with this second half. Not heavy, but it is there. Wind has died off. So umpire with the ball now. Wilson again down, doing the ruck work. Gin's with him. Ball from the back of the contest. Picked up. I can't see who's got it, but Jervis had laid the tackle. Umpire's called for it to come back. And that's what the umpire will do now. So still outside their forward 50. With the ball, once again, umpire, ball thrown up. Wilson doing the ruck work, Gin up early. Wilson stayed and picked the ball up, put boot to ball and went into the forward line. Mark not taken down there. Perkins tried to pluck the ball out of the contest, goes back. Bowden is there. Now it sits on the ground. Umpires let things roll. Comes out the back and no free kick. He says, let's have it back. Good decision. Pay the obvious.
Football's the best, and they put the whistle away for this last 10 minutes.
Looks like Snevskov's got his hand in the air. He wants to do the ruck work this time. Again, Gin, ball comes out of that contest. Bobbles around, comes out the back, handed out, went back. Jervis on hands and knees. He's trying to pick the ball up. Still trying to work the ball through the contest. Both sides with numbers around it. But again, the umpire has no choice but to ball it up. So it is 20 minutes gone. 7:13.55 to Bannockburn. 8:5.53. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
I wouldn't want to be the Bannockburn player who dives on the ball and drags it in here.
Ball's out now. Wilson won the tap, has it down. Jervis in there. He's been good in this last quarter.
Yes.
Gets it out wide. I know it's a good mark coming back the other way for Inverleigh. Grozanowski. Is he going to send it deep inside the forward 50? You think he would? It's a well-weighted kick coming out. I think it was Jervis. It might have been there. Handball over the top. This is their opportunity, Inverleigh. But oh, look at the aggression from Bannockburn. The resistance, 3 or 4 players tackling. Shows how much it means to them.
Well, they've got to be 3 or 4 tacklers because there's 20 of them down there. They've even jumped the fence to get on the ground. Look at them. They're all down there.
You throw a blanket over 15 players right now as Wilson tries to win the tap, although it was pretty good coming the other way and can't quite see who has the ball. It's a free kick been plucked out here. It's going to go the way of Reece Gin.
Yeah, by the ankle he indicated, I think.
So he's been told to go long down the line.
Oh, barrel.
Kicks a barrel. Oh, it's nearly a good chest mark. Comes just undone and now hands out on the other. It's a tough football to win at the moment, although it's one out now. That was Jervis again. He's been great. Kicks it down. That was a good mark. Coming back the other way for Inverleigh. And that's Braden Warren. Goes inside quickly. On the boot. Coming back now. The ball's just been ping-ponged around. I think it might have been Jervis again. Got the 1-2 and then gets it back. Coming down that line. Oh, use his body well. Was Batatella. Comes through now. They're going to go inside the forward 50. Can Battaglia jump over the top? He can't quite now. They're going to go back Inverleigh here to true centre wing. Numbers with Bannockburn. It's a great mark taken. They're going to wheel and go inside the forward 50. It's a grubber, but it might work out. Can they find a target? Here's their opportunity. Coming back for the ball. It's going to be a foot race. Down there's Viney. gathers the ball, snap back as he kicked the goal. He has! He's put him in front. Josh Viney snapped back from a tough angle. 7-13-55 Bannockburn to 9-5. Can't quite see the score for the moment, but
9-5 to 7-13.
they've taken the lead by, what is it, Smithy? 3 points?
Yeah,
4 points.
4 points.
Yep.
I tell you what, that was incredible. They're getting tired, Bannockburn, because they got the ball. They had all their players down back. When the ball came up to their forward line, they were outnumbered 2 or 3 to 1. But when they got it back down Inverleigh, they were still outnumbered 2 to 1. All their players were in the middle, gasping for breath, I think.
So the ball back in the middle, we go again. Ball comes out. Bowie Collins tries to force his way through. Got the handball in towards Viney. Viney just a little bit kick off the ground. There's a free kick being given. A hold. It's going to. Not too sure who's going to.
I don't think anyone's too sure, actually.
Yep, looks like it's going to go to Ryan Perkins, it is. So he decides to kick straight up the ground. Dangerous kick. Ball gets out the back, or didn't, because
in the back
free
to
kick.
Bannockburn.
Free kick go to Reece Ginn. So he's got the ball, and he's got the ball. He's got runners inside. Decides to play on now and go long towards centre half forward. Coming out, Mayborn positions himself well. Ball gets through. A number of players coming through. Bowie Collins put his head over the contest. Picked up by Perkins. Kick goes out wide. In front, ball gets out the back. Miles leads in the race for the ball. Just needs to keep it in front of himself, but Battaglia took it away from him. Handball goes back. Not too sure whether that was a great kick going forward, because the mark has been dropped. He did. Ball's picked up again, kicked around the body, goes back towards the forward pocket. This time it's still in the field of play. Picked up Mayborn, goes back towards the goal square. How will it bounce? It's going to be true. Wilson, an opportunity. He kicks smothered. Good defensive work, and that was Bacon. Went back after it once again. Little boot forward was also good. Into the hands of Collins. Back towards centre wing. Viney, best position. 2 old teammates, not too far away from each other. Viney plays on, goes into their half-forward line. Out the back, Cloessi couldn't take the mark. Ball goes over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in. Half-forward line, Inverleigh's attacking end.
He dropped the mark, but I tell you what, it's not so bad, because if they can hold the ball down there like Inverleigh do, they won't give Bannockburn another chance.
So the ball now with the boundary umpire. Play about to restart, thrown back in. Ginn's there, taps the ball down. Bowie Collins is working towards it. Henderson's with him. Collins grabbed hold of the ball. And now I can't quite see what's happening here, but the ball's gone back over the boundary line. And we're going to have another throw-in, which will take place.
He's thrown himself into it this quarter, Bowie Collins, hasn't he?
Yep. About to restart it again.
Watch Jervy's on the move here for Bannockburn. He's going to be the one.
So Ginn's there also, ball front of the contest. Ginn takes the ball out of the contest.
He's sitting over that.
He can't get over it. It's between his legs. And umpire will take possession of it. Ball up to take place.
25 and a half.
Yep, so now they need to get things moving. Ball thrown up. Wilson again up over the top. Did that very nicely. Ball comes out to Leah. Handballs over the top. Goes to the hands of Perkins. Just puts boot the ball towards Wilson. Gets through the contest. Violet's there. And sees it over the boundary line. Don't pay a free kick.
Boy, that was the only deliberate
Well,
was
it probably was, but again, in these situations...
That's the only one that's been deliberate all day, and he hasn't paid it. He's just pushed that over the line.
Yeah, again, wrong side.
That is
wrong
deliberate.
Side. Ball thrown back in by the umpire once again. Again, front of the contest, picked up Jervis. Tried to get boot to ball, couldn't do it cleanly. Picked up Edwards, that was nice to Lear. And to the forward line they go. Mark required, ball gets out the back, not taken. Picked up, kicked away, goes back into the middle of the ground. Here's a player who wants possession of it. Bryden Bowden may have been held there. Edwards got boot to ball. Marty's going to pick the ball up. Tries to keep the ball rolling forward. Love did nicely, picked it up. Well, actually, Love received the kick, kicked it off the ground. Reed goes after it. Again, now ball ground level, did nicely. Young picked it up, puts it back in Bannockburn's forward half. Out the back, Wilson has an opportunity now. Fed the ball out towards Battaglia. Tried to keep the ball in front of himself. Did so. Needs to pick the ball up. Trying to win possession of it. We'll see it over the boundary line. And there will be a throw-in take place. We've got it about 10 metres around from behind post. It is 59 Inverleigh, 55 Bannockburn.
He knew he couldn't pick that up, Battaglia, so he just kept forcing it forward, give himself another chance at the stoppage.
There can't be long to go. 25 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. This is their opportunity. Jervis coming through. Couldn't quite grab it. Now he gathers the ball, and there's a high tackle. High contact. There's a bit of biff again here. He wouldn't want to give away a 50-metre penalty. Which way is it going?
I'd like to look at that again. That looked to me like a fair bump.
Going the way of Inverleigh.
Got him high.
A desperate time.
Well, that's not high.
There'll only be a couple of minutes to go. Bannockburn trailing Inverleigh by 4 points. 27 minutes gone. Now to true centre wing. Comes out. Inverleigh have the numbers. They're going to keep it in. They're happy to take it over the boundary line. As Jaden Reed was happy to take it over there. So
My dad hates that because he reckons it's what's it called there? It's not deliberate.
insufficient attempt.
Yeah, well, he made no attempt to keep it in.
Yeah.
27 and a half gone. Inverleigh up by 4 points in the Anzac Day special as it comes through now. Involved was Viney. Comes through to Perkins. They're going to get the ball forward at any cost here. They can't quite in and under now. It's going to be Bo Collins gathers the ball. It's going to come wide. Perkins is there as well. Gathered, and Cloissy is happy to see it over the boundary line. Bit of if going. Jervy's vocal as always. Connor Jervy's one of the most vocal in the GDFL. He's a great competitor for Bannockburn. 4 points in it. 28 minutes gone. Can't be long to go. Wilson sees it down. Jin sees the ball forward. And it's a good mark coming back the other way. And they're going to take their time here. That was Jarvis Miles. Stand up when it matters in these big contests. He's got Wilson for free out in the wing if he wants him. He will, and he'll take it. And they're more than happy. They've got a man up here, Bannockburn, because I'll just take the uncontested mark. So in front of us now in the broadcast position.
I just looked at that on the video. I reckon that was the best fair bump I've seen in a long, long time.
Wilson goes long down the line. Bannockburn need to win the ball and go back down the other end. They do win the ball here, although it's a good tackle. Coming back the other way now. Inverleigh trying to move the ball forward. Here they go now, Bannockburn. Who can get under this? Wilson's there. Oh, no, it was dropped. Coming back the other way was Violet. Violet couldn't grab the mark. We're going to have a stoppage. So it's 7:13:55 to 9:5:59. Going to the last quarter. Brought to you by Morris Finance.
Time's running out.
Ball and on centre wing position. Ruckman go out at ball. Rinzay Marnie tries to work his way through the contest. Tries to get the ball out into the hands of Love. Read that nicely out of the contest into their half-forward line. Good ball from behind. Picked up there. Goes forward. That was Mason Dixon. Into the forward pocket. Meehan is there. Ball bounces. Will it go over the boundary line? Both players. They keep it in. Back towards Viney. He picks up. Gets boot the ball. Smothered. And over the boundary line. Another throw-in to take place.
I think they're going to hold on the Hawks.
Yeah, I think they've got it now.
I think they're going to hold on.
A long way to transpose it from one end to the other. Clean possession required. These type of conditions don't allow for it, so it's well and truly within their grasp.
No wonder they play these two sides every Anzac Day.
Ball thrown up from the contest. Out of it comes, picked up out there. Clearance was okay. Kicked off the ground by Marnie.
That's a free kick and trip.
Okay,
Went
going to go back
legs.
to Marnie. So Marnie now needs to move the ball. Goes into the hands of Young. They can't muck around with it. They go out wide, out towards Miles and Battaglia. Battaglia 1-on-3 out there, or 2-on-3. Got support. Handball goes back towards Kelly. Kelly, little chip forward. That's nice. Into the hands of Harding.
Chance.
They need to go long. Mayberm's the target. Needs to mark. And he has.
Does. Oh,
And this would be a very, very big kick in the game of football.
Kick after the siren here.
I'd be getting rid of it before the siren went.
30 and a half minutes going in the last quarter.
That was clean. That was the first bit of clean play from one end of the ground to the other we've seen all day.
And it never looked like being clean until then.
There's the siren.
So Ray Maybaum, a chance to win the game for Bannockburn. He has kicked two for the afternoon. He needs to kick the ball probably 40 metres, wet conditions. That has been all day. This is it. Some would love the opportunity. At this stage, some wouldn't. So Mayburn comes in, kicks that goal, and it's gone across the face.
He's missed it.
He has.
They've lost by a point.
And they have come up short. So it will be Bannockburn 7-14-56. Inverleigh will win 9-5-59. A great Anzac Day game of football in some pretty orderly conditions. Take a short break, come back. We'll go through everything that's happened here this afternoon. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. definitely no. Thanks, mate. That's all right.
Thanks, mate.
All good, Al. Thank you. So, as we said, just wrapping up things here this afternoon, it is Inverleigh that will run out 3-point winners, 9-5-59, Bannockburn 7-4-56. Goal kickers for the day, Josh Kunchka was two each to Rob Maybaum and Brody Harding, one to Devlin, Leah and Kunchka. And for the Inverleigh side, two each to Dixon and Meehan, one each to Viney, Reed, Snezhkov, Bacon and Cloesi. Grub's just going through a little bit of information on his paper here, but... and just trying to get some best players up. But again, a great day for the Anzac Day football. As I said, played in pretty good spirits. A couple of instances there where it got a little bit toward, and that's part of the game of football, isn't it? You take what you get and you give what you take. So it's a good day, Grub. How are you going there with your best players, and what are your summary of the game?
Well, I couldn't find any worse players because I think everybody was out there having a big dip. But I couldn't find any best players either.
Yeah, really tough today.
I just don't think... I think everybody did their bit, and I don't think anyone really stood out, which is not just because it's Anzac Day, because that's what this weather entitles, really. You never see anybody really stand out. I loved young Perkins early, but, he drifted out of the game a little bit. It's so hard. I thought Cloesi played a pretty good game. He was in the mix for a fair while. It's so hard. They all did something. I mean, I thought Wilson was probably beaten in the ruck, and yet I thought he still played okay. The bloke I like in these conditions, which don't suit him, and it doesn't come down there all the time, but when it did, I thought Mason Dixon was a good player for him, and was one of the reasons they were able to get over the line, Mason Dixon, with his... What did he kick, 3 or 4? 2. Two goals, 1?
2-1. Yep.
And one was from a bad angle, so... Yeah, look, Reed early, but then I thought he dropped out of the game a little bit. I thought, I don't know, Salah was good early. As I said, Perkins. I thought Kunchka up and up might have been nearly best on the ground for his game in the ruck, and he's around the ground play. Beardsall was good early, then dropped out of the game a little bit. Jervis was just Connor Jervis. He's never bad, and I thought he was reasonably good today. Reece Ginn in the last quarter was fantastic. I like College. I'll tell you another bloke who played pretty well, young Harry Leah. I liked his game, but I don't know how I'm going to do. You might find a few more, Smithy, but I don't know how I'm going to find me 3-2 and 1 out of this.
It's probably one of the toughest ones I reckon you'd have to have a look at for the day. So it's I don't know where. I don't even know where to start because, as you said, Grub, there was players that played good football in patches and for quarters, but then you went and looked at the next quarter, they weren't involved in the game at all. So,
well, Bowie Collins, I didn't have him anywhere near me best for the first, 3.5 quarters, and then in the last quarter and a bit, I thought he was fantastic.
Yep.
So, what do you do? Obviously, today our vote winner isn't going to be a bloke who played 4 really good quarters of footy, but I don't think we've got any choice.
Yeah, no. As I said, it's even hard to find. As I said, even someone that played well for 2 quarters, like it's bits and pieces, and
definitely a lot of players who came in and out of the game. But overall, I thought Snezhkov was really good early. Like I thought showed a lot in the wet in front of us here. That left foot hit up inside 50. I thought Cloesi was really good. Clean hands. I thought Violet at times was good. I thought that Scott Condy had his moments. Connor Jervis, I put it on him early, and I thought he responded well to maybe not having his best couple of first quarters, and came back hard and kind of showed like how they had to play the game there, and they nearly got over the line at the end. There was only one kick, the difference, and I think even though rain isn't usually the best conditions for the big men, I think you're exactly right in what you say, Grub, that a couple of the big men in Kunchka had a really good day. I thought Wilson, even though he was probably beaten in the ruck, I thought he battled hard, and you could tell by the end he was gassed, but he did a really good job in his ruck work and his ruck craft to get to the front all day and try and get first service for his mids. I thought Casey Meehan was good early, fell out of the game, but it's going to be a tough day to pick votes for sure.
Yep, as I said, I don't even know where to start with mine. I wouldn't even have I've got a couple written down, but they're still not confident with what I've got. But it's, as I said, it's a day where there wasn't going to be really a standout player, but it was just a matter of looking for the contribution that they made and during the 4 quarters of the game. So, very interesting to see which way we go. So I think they're just mulling around at the present time, just waiting to present the Anzac medals. I think they present one to both sides. Is that correct?
They used to.
Yeah. So it's interesting just to see where they look. And as I said, I reckon. Well, I'm putting down who I reckon now. So my 3 votes. It'll be interesting to see which way they go. But
I've got a score. Drysdale 108, Port Arlington 45.
Yep.
But I haven't got an update on South Barwon and St Joey's.
No, they played Friday. Did they play already last week?
Who?
Joey's, and they played last Friday night or Saturday, didn't they? Down at Lawn with the end of the long weekend.
Did they?
Yeah. I wouldn't have. Bowie Collins got the one for the Inverleigh side.
Well, he won't be getting mine.
He won't be getting mine either.
Enter my votes.
But it's very interesting there. But as I said, it's well. Do you want to have a look? I know tomorrow that we're heading out to Thompson
Street,
tomorrow. Yeah, Godfrey Street, the replay of the grand final, which should be an interesting game of football. Thompson taking on the Belmont Lions, and as I said, hopefully this rain overnight does clear up somewhat, and we can get something of a better game to watch and sit back and watch tomorrow. So it should be an interesting game. A few other good games around tomorrow. North Geelong versus Corio will be an interesting contest, I would think. Where do they go tomorrow, Grub? Are they at home?
They're at home to Belpo Steel Panthers.
Okay. Belpo still will need to show something a little bit more than they have been.
Friday the 25th of April, this says.
Yeah, I'm sure they played last week. It was they went down because the Lawn and Apollo Bay played the Friday night, and on the Saturday...
St Joey's did, but I don't think...
No, they played South Barwon because there was a lot of blokes heading down from around the club, around the work. So I'm pretty sure, because I know that they anticipate to get about 2,000 people through the gate, and Lawn offered them the clubs, the gate and all the bar takings.
That was Leopold.
No, that was down there as well.
Leopold versus St Joey's last week at Scribbling Oval Lawn.
No.
That's what it says.
No, I don't reckon that
and
was
St
right.
Joey's belted them.
Okay. There you go. I thought it was South Barwon.
I'm pretty sure. Well, they play an Anzac Day game in the GFL. Who was it? If it's not them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's all right. You might be right, Grub. I just honestly thought I knew it was South Barwon. I thought it was St Joey's last week.
No.
Righto, guys. Let's put your heads down. 3, 2, 1. What do you got there, boys?
You want to go first, Grub?
No.
All right. I'll go first then.
I'll go first because I'll make a fool of myself, and I reckon one vote I'm going to give to Dan Groz across the half-back line for Inverleigh. Was pretty safe and sure.
The only bloke at Inverleigh that didn't try and sack him, so he's giving him a vote.
Yeah, no, I did. That's nice. A nice kid, young Dan Groz. I thought he played pretty good footy from that half-back line for most of the day. I agree, Joshy Kuncha, probably Bannockburn for me was their best player in the ruck. As I said, probably needed to move forward probably during that third quarter, but again, that's why I sit in the box these days and don't coach. I thought Jared Love. I thought just for the 4 quarters, he was always in and under, always thereabouts. So for me, I'm going to give the 3 votes to Jared Love.
Yeah, but you can't count the last quarter.
No.
Well, you didn't watch the game. You had your eye on the dumpling truck.
Yeah, I know. It looks like it's open for
He's
business.
He's going to stay here tonight, isn't he,
Yeah.
Grub? That's what he said.
Glennie Myers just texted through and said, Grubby's right again. Smith's an idiot. So there you go.
I'll go next for the votes. I've got 1 vote to Josh Kunchka. I thought he was really good today, especially in a day that isn't known for your bigger players. He chopped out in the ruck, or he played predominantly ruck for quite a bit, and I thought when he went back and forward at stages as well was really good. And he had kicked that goal, I think it's the last quarter, to put them back, put him in front. After he rode his own ball, so I thought he had a really good game. I thought Connor Jervis, I put a little bit on him early, and I thought, he plays well every week, and he probably didn't have the first quarter and the second quarter he liked, but he really brought his team back into the game, and I felt as he started playing better, this team started playing better. He's like their barometer. When he's going well, the team's going well. So he fought hard all day and got them right back in the contest. And then I'm giving my 3 votes, best on ground player, to Luke Wilson. I thought even though he probably got beaten in the ruck, I thought around the ground he was really good. His ruck craft was good, but he also he's got a good tank on him, and he gets to more contests than his opponent. And I thought he went a long way in Inverleigh winning this game.
South Barwon 51 were defeated by St Joseph 62. Today, April 25th.
Thank you. That's all right, Grub. I got my information totally wrong last week.
Grub, you got some votes for us?
Well, after your votes, I don't think I'll bother. a bloke that got sadly beaten in the ruck, even as you said so, you're worse than Spider Brain. How can... Smitty, I'm going for best on the ground, Jared Love, because I just don't know. And you went for him, and I reckon he's great, and he's one of my favourite players.
Right.
And it could go to any of the 15 blokes or none.
All right, so Jared Love gets 6 votes, but the others need a bit more than that, so they can't win it. So you're going Jared Love?
Exactly.
Right, Jared Love is going to be the recipient of the award this afternoon, and I'm sure he'll enjoy that at some stage in the next week or so. So congratulations to him from us. As I said, we think that he was probably their best player, probably the best four-quarter player over the course of the game, I would think so.
Well, your funny thing is, he wasn't best on the ground in any of the quarters.
No.
But he was second, third or fourth in
Most.
at least three and a half quarters. So that'll do, mate.
All right, it's 5 o'clock, and I reckon Elvis is just about ready to wind up the windpipes in there. So from today, we'll say goodbye. Thank you for everyone that's been around the ground and watched the game, as I said, in trying conditions. All our listeners and viewers, we hope to hear you or see you again back tomorrow at Godfrey Street when we see the Thompson Tigers take on the Belmont Lions in a grand final replay. You've been listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
See you tomorrow.